What's up, everybody? Episode 11.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. How's it going?
God damn it, man. Fuck.
As you guys can see, we got guests here today. We got Matt, you already heard. We got our boy Tom over here.
Hello, hello.
So, Matt, as he wants to come off.
Shit.
What a bright way to start 2020, though. Dude.
Oh, yeah, man.
2 guests, great guests.
Oh,
Great day so far.
Oh, dude, I'm chilling with some of my best friends over here.
Hell
I got
yeah,
my
bro.
boy Trevor and I got my boy Bear Who, man. We're working.
Sick,
T
bro.
Raw Dog and Bear Who.
Dude,
Hey,
well,
Tom,
I've only known you
back
for
there.
a couple times.
Yeah.
Tom, I just met you.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
dude. Great dude.
Yeah, I feel like I've known Bear Hoot my whole life.
Yeah,
already.
exactly.
Like it's pretty great.
It's
We
pretty
click-
set in stone, dude.
click like that.
Some
Yeah,
past
exactly.
life, some past life somewhere.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
In the metaphysical realm.
Fuck yeah. All right.
Anyways.
So, yeah, Matt Ginther, singer-songwriter, motivator, and aspiring to have a podcast of his own one day.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be able to help him get started a little bit.
Too generous.
If you guys want to hit him up, Instagram is MFG for life. We also got Tom. His Instagram is TomXDG.
Yes,
Correct?
sir. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And aspiring media professional, and for now, he's a part-time radio host.
Yes, sir. You can check me out on spexradio.com every Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. I got me and my boy Dan the Man. We do a little hour show, playing some throwback hip-hop and stuff like that, talking, just shooting the shit, basically. It's a good time.
Hell yeah. Sounds
Hell
like
yeah.
a great time.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Matt. I got this tape coming out real soon. It's called Harvesting Ritual, and you can check that out up on SoundCloud. My SoundCloud's called MFG for life too. If you want to really get linked with it though, just hit up that Instagram, hit that follow button, and then whoa shit. I mean, the fucking website link's right under there. Just click that. hit
When's
that
that coming
follow
out?
button.
Do you know?
It's coming out tomorrow. Straight up, it is
Tomorrow?
Coming out. Oh yeah, it's
No
coming
shit,
out. Yeah,
dude.
it was gonna come out
Hey,
today,
dude.
but
Did you
Well,
already post that promo photo that me and you did
oh
together?
no, I haven't done that yet. But dude, I was about to do that right after the podcast. Straight up.
Hell yeah,
Hey.
dude. Couldn't be a better time to
I
have you
know.
on here, dude. Let's promote the fuck out of
we
that,
gotta,
dude.
We got to really get that going for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Exactly, dude.
Harvesting Ritual, January 3rd, baby.
Hey.
2020. starting your 2020 off right with some MFG for life, man.
Everything's going bright this 2020. yes.
Matt's really on his Kanye stuff now, man. That when I heard that explanation of like he's trying to do the Kanye wave, it just all clicked with me, and I was like, this guy's actually ahead of his time right now.
Man, I'll tell you what, Kanye, he's a good guy, but I'm on my own way, man. I'm sorry.
He's dealing with mic distance. He's
Yeah.
used to spinning.
Yeah,
into the,
yeah.
You're used
Yeah.
to spinning into the mic,
Just
not
keep
speaking.
just keep your
Gentlemen.
body like right there.
All right,
You know?
gentlemen, how
Yeah.
are we doing today?
Good, dude. Great. I think I'm doing fantastic. I woke up at 4:30 p.m. You know, a little
4:30.
mishap in going to sleep, but you know, we're getting there. And
You take each day as they go.
well,
yeah.
little ritual here. Welcome to the Surreal series.
Where we're not only real.
It's surreal. Yeah.
There we
All
go,
right.
baby.
Oh,
So I guess we'll get into the thick of it. That
Yeah,
was our little
yeah,
introduction
yeah.
for everybody, but this is pretty much a free-form conversation that all
Yeah,
we're doing.
exactly.
First time
Exactly.
having guests, it's going to be a fun time.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Very, very fun time. Got a couple beers cracked, and
Dude, hell yeah. Some dirty blondes, dude.
oh yeah,
The way that I like my women.
you can totally tell it was brewed with an orange peel for sure. You get that little hint of orange.
Would you
on
do
it.
her?
Yes. Yeah, that was my first thought. I just didn't make it public.
Well, it's just abstract. You got to squint your eyes the whole time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, anyways, so I have a couple things that I wanted to talk about. All right, so big thing for us, tobacco gauge or the age of buying tobacco going up. All right, went from 18 to 21. And I want to, Tom, you look like you're ready to say something.
So Matt and I are both 20 years of age.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I turned 21 in 3 weeks. And New Year's Eve, it was New Year's by this point.
Yeah.
We were, trying to buy Dutches, blunt wraps.
Yeah, exactly.
And we go to these gas stations that I've been going to since I was like 16 years old, buying it and everything.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it that I was getting carded for this. I was like, dude, like, what?
And they denied you?
Yeah, oh yeah, they denied me. And it's not like, just I walked into a random gas station, never met the guy before. Like, it's the same dude since I was a minor, like.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think they're really cracking down if they're not like getting the homie hookups.
I think, dude, it should be like, so what year were you guys born?
99.
99. All right, so 2 years after that. I feel like 2001 should be the cutoff date. And then after 2001 people are able to buy, then it should be, or once they become 21, once 2001 babies become 21, then they put it in effect of 21 years old, 21 of age. Because these kids are used to it. You're used to it.
Right.
And now you're forcing people that are addicted to something to have to ask somebody that's older to get it. So one way or another, you might get caught or they might get caught somehow. Because my theory about that is ever since I've seen articles talking about how police are having a hard time convicting people ever since legal marijuana's happened, which obviously it's harder because you can't just arrest somebody for smoking a blunt, or just having a dime bag or a quarter on them or whatever, So now they have to get somebody on something else. And you know how many kids that are underage in middle school, especially high school, that are doing it? Even in middle school now, I bet there's kids that are vaping like crazy.
I have personal way to connect to that. I play basketball at this like local rec center and stuff, and there's like young high school kids, middle school kids that are there and stuff, and obviously I had a Juul or whatever, and they were all like, "Can I hit that? Can I hit that? Can I hit that?" And it's like, dude, no. First off, like I don't even think I should be doing this.
Yeah.
But I mean, these kids are getting like the clear like dab pens and stuff. They're hitting them in school. They're in 8th grade.
Yeah,
I
know.
Like,
I know.
Imagine like, I mean, we've all smoked pot here. The first time you did it, it was a probably bad rolled joint or whatever.
Yeah.
You barely got high. Those kids are probably getting banged
Blasted
off these. And it's the first time they've ever done it, and they're doing it at school, too.
You're right.
Like, that's pretty wild to me.
And you got to think, well, I mean, I have to say, dude, you don't really see a negative effect of weed, but, like, really there is a negative effect of, like, before you're at the age of when your brain's fully formed, which is 25 actually. They've done recent studies. Your prefrontal cortex doesn't stop growing until you're 25, right? Yeah. So anything that's stimulating your brain is actually affecting it, maybe in a good way, maybe in a terrible way, but still nonetheless not a natural growth to it. And we got these kids, which, dude, mids and like chronic back in the day, man, that's not going to ruin your brain, but like, dude, hitting a clear every day, that's going to fuck you up, dude. Oh, yeah. That's going to make it so like maybe you have a learning disability, maybe like, so I don't know. You don't know what the negative side effect could be.
We don't know the negative side effects. And the thing is like, even if they were like 18, it's like, I don't know if your first experience with this should be
that
wax,
exactly.
Like the most concentrated form of this substance.
Yeah.
And that's I don't know. I just think it's crazy to me that
Well, going back, I mean, dude, on the whole tobacco age going up too, that's ridiculous because somebody brought this point up to me about we're sending people to war at 18. And telling them, no, you can't smoke cigarettes.
Or drink.
Man, what the fuck is that? Somebody can willingly be like, I'm going to put my body on the line for my country. Mm-hmm. But, hey, you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes while you do it. You're not allowed to drink a little bit of beer while you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, though, I think in the grand scheme, 21 is probably a good thing for the tobacco.
100%.
Because in the long term, it probably will get like, the kids who are in elementary school right now.
Yeah.
They won't have kids smoking cigarettes when they're in high school, or at least not as many.
Exactly.
And there's less chance of them getting on it, because at the end of the day, if it's 21, at that point, it's usually a personal choice. Like at 21, you shouldn't be getting peer pressure.
Yeah, exactly. You have a foundation of your own personality and stuff like that. Yeah.
You guys ever smoke a blunt before?
A what?
A blunt?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, of course.
Let me tell you something.
No.
Let me tell you something,
You kids and
guys.
your dope
I
bowls.
love blunts.
Yeah.
Like, I hate smoking joints, bowls, bongs, because I just really would rather smoke a blunt because apparently nicotine lights up more cannabinoids in your brain while you also have THC in there. Besides the point,
Yeah.
when you fundamentally take the...
Oh, you're talking about spliff.
Oh, I'm talking about,
Just
like,
the blunt,
I mean, you
like
got to
the
be...
wrap
The
itself.
wrap itself.
It has nicotine on it?
Oh,
yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Does it really?
Yeah.
It's
Didn't
a
know that.
tobacco leaf, but
Didn't know that. That's
we-
why you get fucking fried.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's why you got to be 21 now to buy it. And
Buy
I'm
a
just
wrap,
saying this.
Yeah. Well, I knew it had tobacco in it. I just didn't know, I had never known that it had nicotine on the wrap because that's fucking mind blowing, dude.
Now you got to
Well,
be
it's a
21 to
tobacco
buy it.
leaf if it's like a blunt wrap.
Is that a tobacco leaf?
Yeah.
Well, there's the blunts are like swishers and stuff. They're
Yeah.
factory made, so
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they're
exactly.
processed and everything.
Yeah.
But you can get like backwoods and stuff. That's an actual like leaf.
That's
rolled
that's
with
what that's
tobacco.
I've smoked a backwood.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
You ever
exactly.
smoke a frontal leaf?
No.
So it's like this. You get this little like bag that has like a Ziploc almost, and when you take it out, it's just this like leaf that's been folded 16 times, but it's a whole ass tobacco leaf. Like, it's the craziest thing. I swear. Like,
It's
and
like
sometimes
it's like a foot long.
I got boys who smoke that shit, and when they leave it out so long because they just got fried the night before and then put it back in the bag, they literally just crumple that shit up and put it in a blunt and make a spliff out of that
Really?
shit. Yeah,
Oh,
like that's the
yeah, for
craziest
sure.
shit.
Okay.
It's the craziest shit.
Yeah, dude, I just don't get it, man. We should either raise the age to go to war then. I mean, that's so unjustified.
Absolutely.
Dude, I wholeheartedly believe that shouldn't be that way,
I feel like kids are too young and wild at the age of 18 to even comprehend actually going. Because I know so many more people that thought about going into it and then backed out than actually fully went through with it, Not saying that's a bad thing, but people aren't at their most stable at the age of 18.
Yeah,
A lot more
exactly.
people are at 21, but most people aren't even at 21.
Well, you gotta even think about like a casualty at war, dude. Like if you're 18 and you die, dude, the only things that you experienced was going through school.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's the end of your life, dude.
Yeah.
That sucks. That really sucks.
And the thing too is like it's not like they're targeting kids who like high GPAs, high test scores and stuff. They're going for the kids who are I'm not
Not
going to
gonna make it in college,
like kids who probably don't have any other route and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
They just take these kids who probably come from underprivileged
Yeah,
areas
broken
and
homes, stuff like that. Yeah,
sure.
dude.
And like they've had a shitty life, and then it's just gonna get probably more shitty if they getting shot at all the time.
100%, dude. 100%.
There was a German philosopher who wrote a little book that kind of changed Russia, but he said war is fought by the poor, and that German philosopher was Karl Marx, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
he kind of totally.
Or was it the rich wage war that the poor
fight? Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Adam.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
100%.
I'm gonna say this,
Yep.
okay? I have so much respect to people who choose to go to war, but at the end of the day, to kill another human being takes a traumatic toll on the brain. And
100%.
When you come back, you're not all well adjusted as you used to.
Well, that's a lot of the military is when you go in, it's not, to a degree, you guess you could call it brainwashing, but you get put into a certain mindset
Yeah.
for the entire time that you're there, and then you come back and have to face reality rather
Absolutely.
than living the way you were.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more to deal with because you don't have people trying to gouge your eyes out anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're at a grocery store.
I mean, it also demonizes the civilian population as well, because you're just being told the whole time that the reason you can't see the enemy is because it's insurgents, right?
Yeah.
So now,
Especially now more than ever. Yeah.
Oh,
At least back then
absolutely.
they had uniforms.
oh yeah, but now if you want to hold a city, go hold a city. We'll just go to the alleyways and put on farming clothes that day, and then at night, we'll just shoot RPGs at the tanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. So much respect to the people who fight wars, because it does take a lot of courage and
Dude,
bravery.
your nerves are on 10 every day that you're like in a hostile city,
I mean, yeah,
that's some bullets.
that's the thing too. I mean, how many times have you heard stories about guys who are just doing routine like checks and stuff? Like they'll set up like checkpoints where like cars pass through. You got to go through like U.S. Army custom or whatever the term is for it.
Yeah.
And some guy walks up, bomb strapped to his car. Boom, you're done like that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They're on edge all the time.
Yeah.
And then they come back, and it won't even be like something that we would see as like we would pass off and be like, whatever, you know, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
But like maybe like a pen drops, like, you know, they hear that.
Oh yeah,
and
they're like, oh my God.
whoa,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like who just threw a grenade in my area
Yep.
or something.
I feel like the
that,
best
you know?
movie to show that is, I mean, I'm sure all you guys have seen, is The Hurt Locker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
That movie's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Just showing that, even just the mindset you have to be in that situation, especially to defuse bombs that are designed to kill you.
Yeah.
Specifically.
You guys saw American Sniper too, right?
Yeah.
I actually never saw that.
Okay, so
I never saw it. No.
but there's a scene in there where he comes back and it's like his daughter's birthday or something. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, and I think it was like their dog or something just started barking weird.
Yeah.
And like Chris Kyle, the guy who's the movie is about, just goes straight up, tackles his dog, and like starts choking it, and everybody's looking at him like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah.
You know, but it's just his reaction because he'd been at war for something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, man. I know I would break. Like, the fragility of my mind, where it's like I question myself a lot every day, where it's like I have like panic disorder. Right?
Okay.
I don't talk about it often, but I have very bad panic attacks every day. I had some last night. I called Trevor. I said, dude, I probably had about 50 trying to go to sleep. Just trying to go to sleep, where it would be like, you know, I lay down and feel like I'm having a heart attack, dude. Like immediately,
Wow.
like my lips would go numb, and my whole face would then go numb, and arms and everything would go numb, and I'd feel like my chest was stopping, and then I'd jump up real quick, like jump up out of my bed. It's 4:00 in the morning, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Trying to go to sleep, you know? But like, I know that if I was in a war situation, it would just be that much worse, dude. Those nerves would totally get to me, and it'd be that every night. It'd be unbearable. I know I'd fucking break. And I understand why these people break when they get home, dude.
Oh, for sure.
You're trying to normalize your life after just the most fucking hectic life of the last 4 years.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's almost like people who come back from prison too. You know, they don't know how to live in a in our like civilization anymore.
Exactly.
Because when you take somebody out of a society and then you throw them back in 4 or 5 years later, that's like think about all the stuff that's happened since 2015.
Yeah.
Like in our society, even.
Yeah.
You know, pop culture, all that stuff, you miss that chunk. And then you have to pick the pieces back. It's like putting a puzzle together that you don't know where any of the pieces go, you know?
So I guess what you guys are just trying to say is that traumatic experiences really shape the way we live our lives, right? Because I mean,
definitely. I mean,
for the most part, yeah. I mean, that's something that I've heard a lot of arguments about that I think is ridiculous. Is it mainly only happens in court situations where they're the defendant trying to get out of a charge.
Yeah.
Whereas they'll say, oh, it was such a traumatic memory. Or like if they're trying to get somebody convicted and they're getting asked details, they'll say, oh, it's such a traumatic memory that I suppressed it. For the most time, the most traumatic memories of your life, they define who you are. Heavily. So I just find it ridiculous that I don't know anything that's ever terrible happened to me that I tried to tell myself never happened. I'm sure some people do, for sure. But I mean, you still remember it. You pack
well,
it back.
Horror. It's a horror of your life.
Yeah,
you don't. You just don't
rest,
think about it, but it's in the back of your mind.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely there subconsciously, but I mean, I have a lot of feelings and urges and a lot of things that like dictate the way I do things particularly. And I think one of the reasons I do that is because I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of things in my subconscious, like a lot of things that from my childhood dictate the way I choose to live my life. Like if I don't have things the way I want them, I start to get frustrated. And I think that's because I was told as a child, if you don't have the things the way you want, then just flip out because you'll get them that way. Man,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I feel like that's a lot of, I don't know, parenting's so hard because you'd really just want, you know, you love the child, but at the same time. Like,
You want the best life for them.
Yeah,
100%,
how many siblings do you got in
I
total?
have my older brother and my younger brother.
Yeah, so you got three, and what are the age differences?
9 months each. Or maybe 12 months. It's like 12 months each.
Okay, so it's so close that it was like almost back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
I got
so
you.
I mean, you're like right at the cusp of like if you had one more sibling, then you would have learned severely to if you didn't get your way. You're gonna have to fucking learn to get over it.
Do both your parents work?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
you are free for yourself too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
Well, it's almost like they would have to give you stuff so that
You'd fuck
so
off.
that you be content. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, dude, because they're trying to get things done, and like, I mean, as fucked up as it is to say, and even for me, it was the same exact way. But a child in the way is a child in the way of you doing what you need to do. And that does shape who we are. I mean,
and you're the middle child too. I feel like the middle child, and like I'm an only child. Yeah. So I mean, here. I'm kind of like coming from the outside on this, but I feel like the middle child is usually the most neglected one because the oldest one was the first one, and they really tried to go for it. The middle one, like, you happened, but then they were thinking about the next one, and then the next one comes, and it's like their baby, their youngest. They're gonna nurture him a little bit more,
and they learn the most. They're gonna do the most.
I think the oldest one actually gets the hardest brunt end of it because the parent doesn't know parenting style at that point. They have no basis on it, and usually they fuck that kid up the most, dude. I mean, perfect examples are like one of my buddies. Like his brother is just like he's same age as my sister, so both older siblings. My sister's super fucked up, just mentally, just off the walls. Trevor can tell you. I hope she never listens to this. But and then his brother is just like fucking cuckoo, DUIs, stuff like that, OWIs, whatever, dude. Just like, right. and he, I mean, glad to say, but he restructured his life. But it's hard, dude, for those guys because the pressure is on them to look out for their siblings. They didn't get the best parenting style, and I think the pressure's on mostly for them. But I'm sorry to interject like that, but I think the oldest person gets the brunt of it,
For sure. I think to go back on like the trauma and stuff that affects your life, like I think a lot of people, like, without knowing it, carry so much shit from their childhood, like little things, and like it's a constant like memory. Like for me, as an example, I'll never forget one day I had a basketball hoop outside my house and I was playing basketball, just shooting or whatever. I was like 8-9 years old. Yeah. And there was this car. I live on an intersection, and there was this car like right there. I could feel the guy looking at me, right? Yeah. And I like just got a weird feeling, and I ran back inside, and the car like bolted like right after I went inside. So like even to this day, like I work a night job. I'll come home late at night, and I park outside, and like I lock my car, and like I will sometimes like I'll freak out and I will run in. Really? Because like I just had that like traumatic experience. Now granted, that guy might have just been like, stopping, maybe reading a text or something. Whatever. But it fucked with my head. It fucked with my head for sure. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy, man. That one thing that could have been so insignificant shaped you, like in your everyday life and in the way that your brain pathways work. Yeah,
and think of people who are like abusers and stuff like that. Like we were talking about this in the car earlier. Most abusers, like whatever you do, you were probably abused as a child too. Yeah. So like you think that's like a normal reaction and a normal behavior type. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, you've seen an adult do this, to a child, whether it's sexual abuse or physical abuse,
Right.
And that's normalized.
Even emotional abuse. Yeah. Like, like if your dad was like coming home cussing your mom out every night and stuff, you think it's okay to like talk to a woman like that, or, whatever, like any social interaction.
100%. 100%.
I can be a dick whenever I want.
Yeah.
Because my dad was like that.
Well, dude, and another one, I mean, Trevor can back this up. I have awful anger issues. We've gotten into it even, and I don't want to like place blame on my dad, but it's fucking my dad's fault, dude. He was such an angry dude, and I think I just learned it. I was like, this is how you act. Like, this is how you act. And like, though I suppress it a lot, and I'm a lot more easygoing than my dad, but it's a nurture, like it's a nurture trait, dude. Mm-hmm. That nature versus nurture type thing is like, it really is. I believe in my heart of hearts, it's not nature. It's not nature. It's not your genes on how you turn out mentally. I think it's all
I feel like if you leave a trait alone and you never try and alter it, that's nature.
That could be true. That could be true. That's a good way to look at it.
There might be something that's never, like, if you're a very closed-in person, you're just private, you're not very outgoing, and you were just born that way. I mean, it's not like you're antisocial, but you have a tight-knit friend group that you hang out with all of them all the time, but no one really else. You guys go to each other's houses, go to the movies, go home, but no one ever criticized you for being that way and never told you that you should only have a few friends.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of nature in a way.
Yeah.
But I mean, if there's anything that you've influenced or changed your ideas from learning lessons or the way people have treated you or experiences you've had or traumas, then sure, it's almost always nurture, the way that you're treated or raised. You know?
That's true. That's true.
And I think human life should always be like a constant, like trying to progress into, being a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think when you stop trying to grow, like you're dead.
Yeah.
You know, like you could be 20 years old and like be so set in your ways. It's like, dude, what's the point? Like, there's always something you can do better at. Even if you're like, LeBron James playing basketball, you think he's not taking thousands of jump shots every week or some shit,
just on practice, improve it. Well, I think this ties in pretty well, I think that's why we have New Year's resolutions every year, to become the better version of ourselves. It's
at least for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, okay, so I worked at this job is right next to Lifetime Fitness, and I would go out and I'd look at the parking lot right after New Year's, or right before New Year's, empty. After the day after New Year's, literally packed, dude, packed to the brim. 7 o'clock in the evening. Week later, dude, no one there. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Or maybe half the cars. Think
about how much money gyms make in this week alone, dude. Like sign up fees and everything.
Yep.
Like, they can give like half off deals, and I still bet that January is their highest grossing month.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. And people just they don't get rid of their gym membership because they think they're still on that resolution.
Yeah. Gyms like are designed to give out more memberships than they can fit at a time because they count on people not going.
Yeah.
It's like a plane with tickets.
That's crazy.
And seats. They'll oversell planes.
Do they really?
And that's why, like
5, 10 tickets, something.
Sometimes up to 20 or something. Who knows? Yeah. So then a lot of people, you'd be surprised at how many people don't show up to a flight. How many things go wrong. You think about how many people are in the world, how many flights have gone in and out that morning, and the odds of 3 people going missing on your specific flight, so that the 3 people that they oversold.
Yeah, they might happens. They could have even been intending to go there, and like they took too long in security or some stupid thing.
That does happen.
Yeah, and it's not like you lose your flight either. They'll just lay you over to another flight if somebody took your spot in a way.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to make you pay for another ticket.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah. Most of the time, I know a girl that actually there was like some sort of mishap, and they were like, yeah, we got rid of your ticket, and you're going to wait in France or Germany for like 12 hours. Dude, that fucking sucks.
I mean, dude, I'd go and get some German. I'd go and get some German food.
Yeah.
Sauerkraut. Dude, they got
go get some sausage and sauerkraut.
Oh, they got amazing beer
only
over in
sauerkraut.
Germany.
Oh, 100%.
And all of Europe is cobblestone because that was built like 100, 200 years ago. But then
is that where you'd like to go the most, Matt?
Nah, I think probably the most I want to visit is Guam, just because I don't got to get a passport to go visit there, and it's basically like China. It's like China, but U.S. You got U.S. stores. I mean, what happens is
China without the communism?
See, China doesn't even have like full-on communism.
Nobody does.
It's like a halfie.
Yeah, well, it's like, listen, you Russians can have your own communism, but us Chinese got our own thing going on.
Yeah.
The century of shame. They will not forget, and neither should we.
Well, I mean, I feel like if we were to look like the country that's most to become like a totalitarian state, dude, I'm looking right at us, man. Like,
what?
To be honest.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
Explain that one.
Dude,
I want to hear your
there's so many things that we have now in this last year or 2 years changed, dude, that like infringe on our rights as human beings. Like these are set in stone things. Freedom of speech. Well, you guys hear about like Massachusetts that like now you can't say bitch.
Really?
Right? Dude, you can't call somebody a bitch anymore.
Okay, we should theme this whole podcast over the word bitch. Because, like, screw you, Massachusetts, you bunch of bitches. Like,
Massachusetts is
the
for
title's
bitches.
going to be Massachusetts is a female dog. Pregnant dog.
I like that, dude. I think it's Massachusetts. Maybe we're just attacking the wrong state.
Oh, no, they deserve everything that's coming to them. 6 years of championships, and I'm over here in Detroit, and I can't have one good sports team.
can't even get a fucking playoff
guys.
win here, dude.
Fuck you guys.
Fuck the Red Sox.
Oh my god, dude! You'd expect like all of our athletes to be amazing, dude, because we have Detroit, man, where you're running from everything, dude. Yeah. We should be the fastest, dude.
I guarantee you, a lot of that weed money is going to go into sports teams.
Oh, that's another thing.
Hey,
We're all way too high to be playing,
Bro,
dude.
the weed money's going straight to the roads, man. Because like the thing is what they did was every time you buy the tags on your license plate, right? What they were supposed to do is they're supposed to put in a fund to redo the roads whenever that fund matured. But they kept siphoning off funds from that fund, so now that fund is non-existent anymore.
Well, that's what's happening with just even the lottery too.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
a lot of that's supposed to go towards school programs and roads, and it's not going towards that.
Going into their pockets. That's where it's going.
Man, they're in everyone's pockets, man.
Dude, I saw this one thing. It was the day before. I think Joe Rogan even
Don't
talked
even
about it.
start about Kwame.
Kwame.
Podcast will be 7 hours.
That guy was killing it, dude. That guy slayed the game,
slaying.
bro.
Fucking his secretary.
Had Rolls Royces, dude. Would show up.
Bought his girl an
No,
Escalade.
you know where he's making a lot of money from. He was helping protect illegal drug trafficking from Canada. Because Canada was a big producer of like ecstasy, MDMA, stuff like that.
Yep.
And he was keeping that under a blind eye and being like, hey,
Letting it come through.
You guys can come through, you know.
Really,
and we'll
dude?
get that out. I mean, I don't know the exact details and stuff, but as soon as he got
found it?
busted and stuff, like it's like
They found a bunch of like text messages and stuff.
they basically that whole thing. Yeah, he was helping people get.
He was like the messiah of Detroit too, dude. Everyone loved him before the scandal started happening. They were like, "Fucking Kwame, look at he's doing nothing." We love Kwame, dude.
Kwame was, dude, I don't even know why. You talk to someone from Tennessee and they'll be like, yeah, Kwame killed Pat. You'd be like, how the fuck do you know about it?
Yeah.
Dude? It was
That was huge, dude.
Who killed Patrick?
I feel
Kwame
like Kwame
Kilpatrick.
Kilpatrick and the guy who's the Toronto mayor. What was his name? He smoked crack and shit. I think they are the two most popular mayors in human history.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
100%.
You could go to like the far ends of the earth and somebody would be like, "You heard about that guy who smoked crack and was the mayor of Toronto?" Like, you know?
Yeah, it's because people in Iceland talk with southern accents.
They probably do.
Dude, I didn't say that. Maybe like Texas or some shit.
You don't know, dude. Maybe like somebody in like Laos,
Man.
like here, like somebody in like Beijing and somebody in like Laos or Hong Kong and somebody in Laos, like fucking they hear him as like a deep southern. They like to their dialect. It's like, hey, what are you doing over there, man?
Yeah, they have like certain parts of like whatever country you're from, and it's like those fucking rednecks.
Man, that's that boonies for you. Bro, I swear.
Oh man,
You should have like,
damn rednecks.
bro, every single state has its own version of the boonies. Like New Mexico's
sure.
version is like the Sahara. Oh no, excuse me.
Albuquerque.
Yeah, well, no, but like it's like the desert out there, you know. Like we got up north, they probably got west.
Dude, if you think about it,
Yeah.
Michigan outside of like the pocket we live in is
Southeast.
total boonies.
Oh, yeah,
Southeast
100%,
Michigan,
dude.
like northern Michigan, even some of the,
Northwest.
until you get like
yeah.
the west coast of Michigan, like Grand Rapids and stuff like that. Yeah,
Traverse,
it's
yeah.
a little bit like it's nice.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But, like middle Michigan, dude.
Yeah.
Rednecks country.
Yeah, 100%. And then especially the UP, dude. It's like
The UP is free for all.
yeah, it's like everybody's riding snowmobiles on lakes and shit, and they're like fucking shooting.
They got
fucking
porcupines.
bison.
I don't know, drunk out of their minds.
Yeah, exactly.
They got porcupines up there.
Oh yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah, because the ecosystem there is really good. Down here, we're
Oh
destroying it.
yeah,
for
dude.
houses.
You know what the max like population of a town there is? Like 20,000, dude.
Oh man, that's the
And-
size of Auburn
yeah.
Hills.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, yeah. that
There was
is
this
easy.
guy that
Yeah.
was up at that lived in the UP and north of the bridge, and there's just like a little peninsula that he lived off of over there that was probably I don't know 20 miles long by 5 miles wide or whatever.
Yeah.
He never left that area his entire life, and he was in like his 70s or 80s.
Didn't even know the rest of the world existed, dude.
He
Probably.
did. He did.
I
He's
mean,
just
yeah.
never left. He's like,
I'm fine here.
It's so fucking beautiful up there. Why would you ever want to leave?
Well, if your life's that simple, I applaud you. At least I can't. My life's not that simple, and my brain doesn't think that simply. So
Fair
I
enough.
can't sit out there and just be complacent with that.
Yeah.
When I'm old, sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
When I've done everything I wanted to do, or at least that I know that I can do. There you go.
Tom, you look like you were gonna say something.
I was like, to go on like never leaving the city. I had this Uber driver one time, and she was telling me how before she started Uber, she lived in Detroit. She never crossed the other side of 8 Mile.
Really?
In her whole life.
Damn.
She was like 25.
Really?
Never
dude?
crossed the side.
What?
Never been on a plane. Never like.
I mean,
left.
I've never been on a plane.
Well, you know, it's never being on a plane is different. But
Never
you know,
being
like,
north
to
of 8 Mile?
To
Yeah.
never leave
dude, I've been all
your
over
like
Michigan.
pocket. That's kind of wild to me.
That
you know?
is, dude. That is, yeah. Because I mean, it's like, to an extent, it's like just ignorant because you don't know what's out there. You don't know the beauty of the world, dude. Especially fucking Detroit, man. If you're living your whole life in Detroit, you're missing everything. You're literally missing nature in general. Like that sucks, dude.
You're missing like buildings that don't look like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's getting a lot better as of recently.
Oh, for sure.
It is.
Yeah,
It
for
is.
It's
sure.
starting to come together.
I'm saying
into
this
its
though.
own.
What if you don't have the economic reasons to be able to travel outside your little pocket, right? I mean,
You
look
can
at-
get to Royal Oak with $20.
Yeah.
yeah, but what is you know?
Go out to,
I
there's
mean-
cheap
I mean,
restaurants
true,
out
you
there,
know.
parks.
But
No.
I'm saying this,
Or like,
right?
you
Like the
know.
reason I've never been on a plane is because I've never really had a reason to. And the same can be said about someone who decides like why they would. I mean, why would I ever need to leave my pocket? I have everything I never want here.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But they don't know what if that's everything they want because
but
you
your
never
pocket,
left. You
your
know?
pocket's significantly larger too because you've gone and partied at Central and Michigan
Yeah.
State and even Michigan.
You ever left the state?
No.
Never. I have left the state.
And you've left the state too.
Yeah.
We're talking about some chick that's never left Detroit, not even north of 8 Mile.
That's
That
like
is
si-
a
but
way
that's-
smaller pocket.
There's
That's a
something-
city, dude.
But there's
That-
something like so simple to that. I don't know how you couldn't leave Detroit because you literally don't have a moment to think. Like, you know, you step outside for a quiet hour and then he says, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, you know, some Native American tribes probably never went outside their like, you know, hunting grounds or whatnot.
Sure. Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
maybe they didn't even,
I do agree with that.
You
I
know
do
what
agree
I'm
with
saying?
that.
I'm pretty sure and I may have a personal bias towards Native Americans because I personally view the way they were living before the Europeans came to
beautiful.
colonize. Yeah.
It's such a
Very
it's
sustainable.
dude. It's brutal, but it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I
brutal-
think it
brutal
was
for
very
sure. Yeah,
savage,
that-
but
yeah, yeah.
it's beautiful.
Way more
That's the point
sustainable
I was
than
trying to get
Yeah,
at.
yes,
this is
yes.
brutal.
way
Yeah,
more
for sure.
sustainable though than the way we're living now because now the economy is bleeding the environment dry.
Oh, yeah, for
because
sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Are you literally gonna tell everyone who makes money that like we're done making money now, like that's over with, like we gotta save the earth? No, because everyone will come up with a fucking reason why they don't have to.
But I think that goes hand in hand with alternative energy and stuff like that. There is a business for it. There's a huge business.
Booming.
It's just fighting back on the big business right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's all
You know
about
what I mean?
oil suppression back in the day. Is they had these electronic devices that were made back in the like the 40s or 60s or something.
Yeah.
Where and then they suppressed them. Like, no, we don't want to use that. We can make more money off of oil.
Yeah.
So they're just it's the same thing with
How about the
like,
Tesla coil?
Tesla coil too.
How
AC and
I almost
DC.
said Benjamin Franklin.
No,
Thomas
Ed-
Jefferson.
Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, they were at a business.
Thomas Jefferson. He's fighting Nikola Tesla.
Thomas Edison was
Fuck you,
vying
Nikola
for direct
Tesla.
current, and Nikola Tesla was vying for AC current. And I was actually explaining this recently. So AC current, you have a giant coil around it, and then a very tight spiral coil inside that. And what it allows it to do is it allows it to actually send more wattage through because it comes back and then it goes forward. But with DC, you actually the wattages go
It's
straight
a single
through the line.
direction. While AC is alternating current,
And-
and then
yep.
DC is direct current.
And AC is the one current we use now,
Yes.
but the problem is that Thomas Edison had a stick so far up his ass that he, you know, when like Nikola Tesla.
Well, he just started talking shit.
yeah, well, he killed an elephant to make a
Yeah,
point on
yes,
it. And
exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, DC current is actually way more dangerous than AC.
Look how dangerous this is. Then he just starts fucking jabbing this fucking elephant,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying this
crazy.
personal bias has a lot to do with how we see the world. So
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
saying like all of us sitting here, we have huge pockets that we've been able to explore. Well, you know, sometimes there's people out there that haven't had the same opportunities.
Yeah.
And I'd be feeling for those people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah,
for
I just
sure.
feel like we're at that point in time that if your opinion isn't in a way that you should experience some of the other points of view, then you're kind of in the wrong at this point. Because that's how we learn, you know.
Well,
you should
that
try and
is
get out of your
fine.
pocket. If you're not financially feasible, like you should at least have a desire to see something different once in your life instead
Yeah.
of staying in your same little
I mean-
pocket.
I mean,
Otherwise, What are you doing?
If you're going for like, staying out of your pocket, even like different perspectives on things, like Twitter's free. Like you can find and like the internet, using the internet. I mean, you can go public. It's not public free, library or something. You can get access to the internet. That is true for free. Yeah. So I mean, you can find different like ways of like. I mean, when I first got like social media accounts, I remember like just going through and I was like, these people have so many similar experiences to me. I thought I was the only one. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It connects you to other people. I think
it connects you, but it disconnects you at the same time.
It's such a powerful tool, and it's such a curse at the same time.
You don't need any finesse anymore. If you want bitches, all you got to do is hit them up through DM and be like, yo, you trying to fuck?
Not
and really,
true,
that's it.
dude.
Oh, you're saying it's not true. You don't need any finesse. Like, you don't need to be at a bar and, like, literally create an isolation bubble with you and a girl.
Well, you're trying to say is you don't need in-person. Yes, that's yours. Okay. You don't need in-person finesse, but you can hit some chick up on Tinder and talk to her for a week and a half and then be able to meet up, and she feels like, or you talk to her
for a whole week and a half, and then she just stops talking to you.
Yeah, one of the two. But see, I mean, that's still, I feel like takes finesse.
A little too close to home there, dude. Adam. Come on, bro.
I know, bro. That happens to me every week.
Bro, I'm saying this. I be talking to girls, and I know I got finesse because I don't just send messages like, "Hey, what's up?" or like, "Hey, what you doing?" I be sending open-ended, whatever. But I'm saying this. I could totally be a scummy ass piece of shit behind this little wall of like illusion I've created doing the text, and you would never know until we meet up. And then
that's social media for you.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Think about the show Catfish.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucked.
I mean, dude, that was born from social media. You couldn't have that back in the day when there was no social media. You found them in person. Or you just called their phone number because it's on a bathroom stall or something like that. I don't know, dude.
But let's think about that even before that. Like, I don't know. You could have a catfish in the 1800s, right? Just like penning this guy across the country, some lonely guy.
Dude. Maybe, but
there's probably
the rarity of it happening.
Oh, well, I mean, it was less common back then because, I mean, you have to be like one of those people that are just pulling shenanigans.
You're a mastermind.
Yeah, just like shenanigans all the time.
There's probably been people ever since, like, you know how these days there's like those phone callers that are pretending, or emailers that are pretending to be the Prince of Nigeria. You know, there's probably people doing that way back thousands of years ago, just trying to get loads of fucking gold.
Hello, I'm the Prince. I'm the Prince of Great Britain.
I'm trying to set up. Funny you mentioned that because I actually just recently was at night listening to YouTube, and there was actually this guy from Britain, right? He went to Portugal, served in the Portuguese army. Then he got discharged, went to Venezuela, actually helped them with their independence, but he was a scumbag through and through. Like, this dude literally set up a fake country, got 500 people to pay to go to, like, Panama, but it was literally called the Mosquito Force. Anyway, ill-prepared people, they all come over there thinking there's this huge colony there, and there isn't. So just 500 people are stranded, right? And then they finally get the British Coast Guard off, like, the Dominican Republic to find them. So then the British Coast Guard for the next, like, 7 months, because that's how time worked back then, you know what I'm saying? Just spent, like, 7 months just catching ships going to this fake country, right? You know what I'm saying? This guy was a sleazeball. The craziest thing, though, this guy never got caught. This guy never paid for any of, like, endangering people. He would literally he would raise a private army, go attack a city, take the city. Then when he should be, like, fortifying the city, getting ready for an attack, because obviously whoever he took it from is going to come in wanting him back. He'd literally get drunk off his ass. The armies would show up at the city gates. He'd literally get in the ship and leave his men to die. Like, and he didn't, and he got no retribution.
It's savage.
Dude, that's master manipulation, man.
Did you hear about
Fire Festival before the Fire Festival?
Did you hear about that Nigerian phone scammer?
That's where Ja Rule got this inspiration from.
No, I haven't heard about that Nigerian phone scammer.
The Nigerian phone scammer?
Yeah, what's up with that?
He sold a fake airport to the Japanese.
No, really?
Yeah, like a completely
fake
and I forget
airport.
what country, I forget what continent. It was either in, I think, Africa or South America, he said it was.
Oh, yeah.
And he like photo edited an airport in like multiple photos, and then he actually sold it for millions of dollars.
Oh no!
Wow.
Way, dude.
You guys know about the Silk Road, the illegal dark web website? So
yeah, of course.
I mean, I don't know the story in full detail, and I bet I'm gonna butcher it. But I was telling Trevor about this. But there was so the guy who ran the site, the Dread Pirate Roberts, he was actually scammed out of like millions of dollars from this guy who like pretended to be a drug dealer who got busted, and now like this guy needs money, but the guy like tried to pull off this hit on him. So what he did was he pretended to be the Hells Angels, took the money for the hit, sent like fake photos to him, right? And the whole time this guy's thinking he actually killed people, but he never killed anybody, and the government didn't even know that until like 2 years ago, and people are using that reason that he should be like free now. But I mean, like, that's like fucking crazy.
Wait, man, he tried to kill people. That's like attempted murder.
Yeah, exactly. Except like, you know, people were saying that like, oh, those people never even existed, so how can he even go to jail?
Yeah,
for
but
it?
still,
he thought they were real in his head. But I'm saying this: if that guy can make $1 million just sitting at
was
a
it the
computer
dude?
screen,
Wait, was it the dude stealing from him that acted like he was putting the hit on them?
Yeah.
So it was the same dude.
Yeah.
So he's capitalizing on two incomes on this
He
dude.
was literally just smart as fuck. Like he flipped. Like the guy wasn't gonna pay to like. So that, you know, it was like one of those like, if you give me money now, or I'm gonna release all this information on all the users at your site, and you know, privacy's paramount on sites like that. So obviously he's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to give him the money, so he's like thinking he's talking to the Hells Angels when really he's talking to the same guy.
Dude.
Millions of dollars, bro. Can you just imagine for 30 days just milking this guy? Like, I wish I had that kind of like brain. You know, my brain doesn't work like that. I don't try to figure out how I can pull one on you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm kudos to that guy, whoever you are, and if you're listening to this podcast, shout out to you, dude. You fucking did it. The American dream, man. It's ripping off a drug dealer, man. That's what I'm talking about.
It's a stereotype I don't understand is how most criminals are dumb, like professional criminals.
Oh, absolutely.
No,
like all
some
cartoons and
The
shit.
dumb criminals go to jail, smart ones become politicians.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, 100%.
I'm saying
100%.
this though, the common mistake every criminal does, and like totally screws them, is when they keep a diary on their like total endeavors. Like that's what the guy who made the Silk Road did. He kept the entire diary of everything he did, how he got the website running and everything. So when the government seized his computer and had
They had
that
a
information,
log of everything.
yeah, they know
Man.
exactly what he did, how he set it up. So now next time someone else tries to do the same thing, they're gonna be able to take it down before that shit even gets off the ground.
What the fuck?
So you totally just kind of fumbled the bag on the whole thing, because now no one can really.
Well, I feel like that just has to do specifically with the way that he put the whole thing together and the encryptions he chose.
Oh yeah.
The way that there people that I guess you could say the freelance site builders, especially on the dark web like that, and people that are logging on that, they're so far ahead than the average human being, especially even people in government. The government's hiring people that are hackers of Anonymous and shit. They get caught and get arrested. They're hiring them to start doing programs for them because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
What was that guy called again from Catch Me If You Can? What was his? It was like Frank Abagnale. Yeah, Frank Abagnale.
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes sense. If you can't beat him, you know, join him.
Join him, yeah.
Matt, I
100%.
might be wrong on this, but didn't some kid at our high school, like Matt and I went to high school together, everybody.
Yeah.
Some kid like hacked the computer system or something, and then the school like paid him to show them how he did it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so there was this thing on the computers where, like, if you accessed it and you knew what you were looking for in there, it was literally like a whole archive of everyone's name, everyone's address, and like a bunch of other information people probably shouldn't be having. I actually used that, and I ended up getting suspended because it was like I used it against a teacher. That's a story for another episode, so you guys better stay tuned in. But story of it all, I got suspended. I know exactly. But yeah, this guy hacked into the computer system, got everyone's, you know, like address and whatnot. And then I believe, yeah, Tom's right. Like the school paid him to show him how he did it.
That's crazy.
I don't think he got scot off though. You know, he didn't get clean away.
No doubt.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think it was one of those like, you got suspended, but hey, like,
How did you do
show
it?
us how you did that?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we need to know. Like, help us improve our firewalls here. Like,
I mean, that's kind of like Netflix and Google in a way. They do it without any repercussions, though, is if you can show a way that you can hack into any of their sites,
Oh yeah.
they'll reward you for it.
They'll reward you for hacking
Yeah,
them?
there's certain sites, dude, they'll give you like thousands of dollars just for figuring
Start
out.
learning how to hack.
You know what's
dude.
really scary
I'm
though?
gonna take down sites.
What's really scary is when like sovereign states like start forming groups to hack. Like North Korea has like groups of people together just to hack Western, bank accounts. It's
to hack us, dude.
Same with China. China actually pays hackers to join the government so they can actually hack. I don't know what they hack.
Companies in itself are structured even so differently over there in China. It's just that even if you're a company, it's not like you own a bakery over here. You run that bakery so that it benefits the government as much as you possibly can, so it keeps you around the longest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So everything over there is structured entirely different. Even socially, like if you look at, I was looking today, that's an observation I made, is if you look at Chinese or Korean TikToks, any kind of Asian culture, they always have that fake American laugh track in the background when something funny happens.
I don't go on TikTok. So
well, they're also, dude,
TikTok's like the new Vine.
I know.
They're also very nervous. I don't know if you noticed. It's a nervous culture. Like they don't want to say the wrong thing.
Stone faced and
same with Korea, South Korea, like K-pop stars, dude.
Yeah, well, K-pop stars are getting ran to death pretty much.
Yeah.
They're basically, like, they're not allowed to have boyfriends or girlfriends. They have to stay single so that the fans fall in love with them. They have to dance, like, stay starve themselves. Because look at us. They have to look like pretty much anime figure skinny. You know?
Yeah. It's like that South Park episode with the Jonas Brothers, and they had to wear the purity rings. And Mickey Mouse is like, keep those fucking purity rings on.
Bro, I'm saying this.
That's such a good episode, dude.
Yeah, that is really good. And it really does highlight like how big businesses try to control their brand ambassadors. But I'm saying this. When it comes to me, if someone approaches me with money and asks me to present a certain lifestyle that I don't either believe in or live myself, like that's when I say no, because with me it's all about that artistic integrity, because that's how you keep that music soulful, baby. You want to get that groove on.
Yeah.
I'm saying this, man, those K-pops, they make songs. They make good songs at that too, but they don't make soulful songs. So I'm all.
Not true, dude.
Really?
Not true, man.
You gotta show me.
Bro, I will show you right after this. Like a really good song.
If you can, I feel like the language barrier might think that it's not very soulful.
I don't understand them.
Dude, I watched. There's a great video online. It's like Aolin. It's like this Japanese band.
Yeah.
And it's like this dude who like looks like every anime character like combined into one.
Yeah.
And he starts with this
anime.
like amazing violin solo, and then like some point like somebody throws in an electric guitar, and it's like one of the craziest riffs I've ever heard.
Really? Yeah.
And like the lyrics to it, it's like this deep love song, like because there's English subtitles.
Yeah,
on it. It's like whoa.
Well, I'll show you the song after, but if you guys want to listen to it, I think it's called Jasmine by, dude, give me 1 second. We can continue on to the conversation, but I'll get back to it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why it has such a pull over there, but that has no sound that I'm desiring to listen to.
Oh, there you go. I totally agree with that, because the way I see it is if it's been like ran through a group of people to be approved by the masses, then that shit I ain't fucking with. Straight
Jasmine by DPR Live. That's the name of it. It's a really good song. Good enough that I showed like my cousin and his friends in Algeria, which is North Africa, and they were like, "That's a fucking fire song." It's like it's a really emotional song. Like not like emotional, but like you can feel the emotion behind it.
Oh yeah,
it's a soulful song, dude. I really enjoy it.
Music is the language we use to communicate emotions.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
That
100%.
math.
Math is
all right. If aliens are going to
2 + 2
communicate
=
with
4.
us, it would either be numbers or music. I mean, that's the only way they could really universally communicate to all of us at once.
Snake jazz, Rick and Morty.
Dude, oh my god, bro! Everyone loves that show. I need to get into that, bro.
You haven't watched Rick and Morty?
So I've watched like 3 episodes, dude.
Really?
Mr. Meeseeks, dude, that shit was fun.
That's hilarious.
There's an episode of Rick and Morty that I think about all the time, and it's so basically Rick.
Writing this down.
He has.
What's the name of it? Do you know?
It's season 2, episode 4.
All right.
I can't remember the episode, but the theme of it is like Rick has his like spaceship car that he drives around, and his battery dies, but his battery was this universe that he created.
It's a microverse.
It's a microverse that
it's a teeny verse.
Yeah, that use this power and like they basically just walk on treadmills and like generate power.
Yeah.
And then they quit working, so he goes in there.
Football
And then it's because they created their own miniverse to power their stuff, and then they go in that one, and then they created one. There's just it's
like
Inception. Never-ending loop.
It's like Inception.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing because the guy's like, he's like, the universe that my dad's funeral happened, and I chose not to go because I wanted to work on my teenyverse, and then he just commits suicide.
Yeah, it's dark, but like
Nathan Fielder
it's
also
one of
does
those.
that.
It's one of those where you think about it and you're like, which one are we in?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like fuck.
Yeah, that could totally be true, man.
There's millions of alternate dimensions out there, and we got stuck with the one where Donald Trump ended up becoming president.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
With quantum mechanics, there are two. They say just through that they can explain that there's two versions of yourself that occur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just two different realities.
Yeah.
Where because if it comes down, I don't remember if it's down to an atom or like a quark or whatever, but they can either see if it's going to go like up or down.
All right.
Really?
That ties into what I was going to say next.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Scientists, I don't know if you guys heard this,
His specialty.
teleported a photon
No way.
from here into space 300 miles up at an instant.
No way. How did
They did.
How did they do that?
Right? Okay, so I just wrote down the real short version. Basically, they controlled it where two objects form. It's an instant. It's quark. It's a quark. Where two objects form at the same instance in two places. So they can duplicate the object, and it forms the same photon forms here as the same time it forms in space.
It's like one of those like you guys ever watch The Prestige where this guy does this magic trick, and the way he does it is he clones himself and then kills himself. Like he clones himself and then the clone dies in the water, and then he comes out of the curtain and he's like, "Hey everyone,
that's
really good
weird.
really good movie, highly recommend it."
What is it?
The Prestige.
Okay.
And it has Christian Bale in it too. But
Two great actors.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the way I see it is like that's not really teleporting. That's just more like cloning the photons and then like.
Well, you gotta think. I mean,
For them to do it in an instant.
yeah, exactly,
That's actually
exactly, and 300 miles away. It was from the ground pinpointing onto the satellite. It's like Star Trek, basically, where you're disassembling one. Well, it's not really disassembling, but okay. Basically, I think there was already one formed, and they just duplicated it up somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like you're still teleporting something, but you're cloning it up over there. Maybe you can erase it back here, and then it'd be a full teleportation.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right. It's crazy.
I mean, this is just the beginning. And that's amazing. This is in China. China did it, man.
Wow, that doesn't surprise me.
China fucking
that
did
doesn't surprise me. I'm saying,
dude, they're trying to beat us, bro.
they will eventually.
Yeah.
The last,
It's the new space
I mean, the only way they
Yeah,
beat us is by
exactly.
stealing a lot of our technology, though.
but
Dude, they're-
The only
they're
reason we
allowed
beat
for
the
it.
Russians is because we stole a bunch of German technology.
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
true. Absolutely.
Hey, we bought it.
Yeah, we bought.
brought them
we
over.
bought,
we coerced them forcefully.
You want your
bought 'em.
Tiger tanks.
we bought the.
Hold on,
we
we're
bought
going
it
a
with
little too Joe
pardons.
Rogan. This is a surreal podcast, guys.
Wow, that's crazy. So, have you guys ever tried DMT? Bro, I'm saying.
Wow,
this.
Tiger tanks. Have you ever tried DMT?
The apes, man, the apes. Give me Alex Jones.
It's crazy. It's really crazy because America has been built on ideals, and then whenever those ideals don't suit it, it just goes back on them, and then just acts like it never even said that. Like
Where they
it's-
just changed the rules to make what they do okay now.
But that's what I'm saying, and then they never even say that it was like bad in the first place. They're like, oh no, we've always been with this shit. Like I guarantee you, 30 years from now, medical marijuana, the federal government will be like, what are you guys talking about? We always wanted you to guys have it legalized, and you're just sitting there like, dude.
They don't fess
We
up
just
for a lot
wanted
of
to take their
bullshit,
time.
dude.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
really don't.
No, why would they? I mean, they have way more manpower and way more resources than any one person could ever have. So, I mean, why would they ever
I guess,
admit they're
Tom,
wrong?
you asked me why I thought we're going to become a totalitarian state. That's
Yeah.
another reason, man. Our government's so fucking corrupt, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Jipping us every second of the way. I mean,
Dude, did you like? All right, I don't know if I was the only person, but like, man, back in like school when we would be in history class and everything, and we'd be hearing about like other countries and their propaganda regimes
Yeah.
and stuff. It's like, Am I not reading a book of propaganda right now?
No,
Like,
you know,
How come every other side's clear cut and dry bad?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's picked and chosen.
Well, history is written by the victors.
It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yo, we fought with the Russians in World War II, but they were always bad. Like, we never fucked
It always
with them.
sounds so fucking
And we
good
put-
too when we're like, we defeated the South. Like, granted, yeah, they were doing some fucked up shit, but we defeated the South. We defeated the Native Americans. We defeated, you know what I mean? We defeated,
Bro, when you-
like it wasn't like they lost.
I
you know what
feel
mean?
that, Adam.
Yeah.
And let me just say this. I feel like when you take the route of saying we defeated you, and instead of like putting it as like, yo, we're the good guys, in fact, it gives more light to the people who did bad, and it actually is like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if American didn't walk around and be like, we whipped the South's ass. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I feel like the idolization of the Confederate States would be less than what it is now, and we probably wouldn't have statues of like General Forrest or General Jackson or
Yeah.
General Ely up in freaking Louisiana in the downtown area. It's like, come on, you know.
Well, we've
Robert E.
unhumbled ourselves.
Robert E. Lee's house is like actually one of the big attractions in Washington D.C.
I know.
Is it
I've,
really?
I've been there before. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
I think it's on. It's
I hate to admit it, but yeah, it was kind of cool.
Robert E. Lee's house is built on Arlington Cemetery.
Yep, it's
Because-
Arlington Cemetery.
Yeah,
Yep.
because to like give a big middle finger to him, they're like, "Yo, you want to
yeah.
fight with the North Virginian Army? Fine, we'll just bury all our dead soldiers in your backyard."
you, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So then it
Wow.
became Arlington Cemetery. You know, it's funny because Robert E. Lee never really joined the Confederate Army to make a point about slavery. He really did it as a fact to. It's more of like a point of states' rights, where it's like, yo, if a state decides to govern themselves in a certain way, then the national government shouldn't have any say over that. That's crazy.
So
that
he's a federalist.
I don't
or
know
no,
about
no,
all that.
no.
I'd say he's more of an American. You know what I'm saying? Because America loves state rights, and because we crushed a totalitarian government because we wanted to govern ourselves the way we saw fit, and now some people do the same thing. It's like
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
yeah.
What the fuck was that? Was that Spider-Man or something?
No, that was
Batman, dude.
The Batman, yeah.
We were just talking about all your Batman knowledge.
Yeah.
Come
I'm
on,
not
you-
Batman now. Dude, I hate DC.
There
man.
is all
Marvel.
Aquaman, man.
I'm Marvel all the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
DC
say-
movies kind of suck.
I gotta say,
Yeah, they suck.
People
dude.
liked Aquaman. I hated that movie.
Dude, it was garbage, dude. Everything.
terrible.
Besides, hey, I'll go with the flow. Wonder Woman, dude, pretty sick.
Never saw
Although it
it.
was just
I
filled
haven't
with like
seen
SJW, like just like propaganda. Like,
that totally just ruined
I-
The Last Jedi and Star Wars for me.
bro,
a bunch of like,
yes.
Bro, I'm saying this, man. Like, if you're gonna commit mutiny against the ship, when your commander tells you to do something you don't think it's right, and you commit mutiny, you should either depose the person who's in power or die because you committed mutiny. Not just be like, you're one wild card,
Yeah.
Just be like, I'm gonna commit suicide.
Well, dude, I have a problem with these timeless tales that are, I guess, conforming to people just based on like, what's it called when like somebody's not represented in a movie. Though these,
Social relevance.
yeah, I get, yeah, where it's like,
Surely a
like,
marketing
dude, why
campaign.
are we gonna have a black Captain America, dude?
See,
just wasn't written that way.
Okay, I think that more as we further in our society, we should have more equal representation of all races.
Yeah.
But there's good ways and there's bad ways to do it. The way that it's kind of being on now, and we're 4 white guys, so like we've always been represented.
Yeah.
But
That's not true.
I'm not even white, dude.
okay.
Actually,
Oh, sorry, you look white, so I just said it. But
I'm white, dude. I'm half.
Anyway, I just think like some of it is just forced to the point where it's like, dude, like you guys are trying too hard,
Dude.
to fit this instead of actually making a good product.
It's
at the end of the
it's
day.
totally a marketing
Yeah.
campaign. Like
Oh,
they
for
totally
sure.
just
Yeah.
do that so like more
sure.
people will go
That's
see the movie.
That's my problem with it. Is
Yeah.
they're trying to appeal. These movies will. I guarantee they're still going to pull the same numbers. They're still going to do the same,
Oh,
maybe
absolutely.
even better, because you're not changing it for somebody else. You're not screwing with the fanboys, dude.
But I will say this though, America is a melting pot, and I think it's funny how the way we used to describe, like the way we used to represent America's population is white people. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. I do agree with you on keeping like some things the way they're written. You know, like the way, like, you know, if you had Black Panther as white, like that, you know, it'd be like,
Or
why?
like
Why would you
something
do
that came up now is a Broadway play where with King Kong, the chick is black in it, where the whole storyline's based off of she's the first white chick to come to the island, and that's why he's attracted to her.
Yeah,
because it's all darker skinned people that lived on that island for thousands of years.
Yep.
That's the new King Kong.
And now,
on Broadway.
So unless they make all the people on the island white, I guess. But I mean, like, why does that even need to be a changed part of the story?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just write a whole new story.
I'm not trying to attack people saying like your points are invalid. No, dude, they're perfectly valid, and I love equality between people. Now, just the problem I had is just don't change stories. We don't need a revision on classic timeless tales, dude. I don't want the conclusion of my Star Wars story to be around some girl that has no relevance to Luke Skywalker, dude. I mean, I haven't watched it yet.
I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick.
I don't want to get out of that.
Damn, I really wish you saw the new movie because she is very relevant to the Force.
Okay, all right.
I saw the new movie.
And the Skywalkers?
I saw the new movie, and
This is not a spoiler alert.
No
this is not a spoiler alert.
I'm not spoiling dick, all right? But I will say this. I saw the new movie, and the only reason Rey is relevant is because the crowbar they did to the fucking plot, all right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, there are some things I was seeing in that movie theater, and they just wedged in there, and I'm thinking, now, what the fuck did it say that in the prequels? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just like, who the fuck took that liberty, man?
Like, the original 3, right?
Yeah.
You got New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi. Yep. At no point do they talk about midichlorian count.
No, at no point.
Then in the first one, episode 1, the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn looks at Anakin. Anakin takes a little sample of blood. And he goes, "It's little beings that are in your blood, and they control the Force." Dude, why can't it just be him controlling the Force, dude?
Yeah, dude.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know,
well, I think like they wanted in that to give more like backstory to the Jedi and like why the Jedi are like that.
Yeah.
So they threw that in there because like the Jedi are basically dead.
The way
it's just Luke and like an old Yoda.
Yeah,
and
but
an
when you
old
see the
Obi-Wan.
prequels, you see the Jedi at their full force, like their full capabilities.
Well,
they are at their full force.
They're militia at that point.
I'm saying
they're peacekeepers, but
they're militarized.
I don't. But it took away from the mysticism of them. I loved that it was mystical, like it was a power. It was like it was like this inherent thing that you're born with, not like. Yeah, you just got a lot of worms in you. Yeah. Like, dude,
you got a lot of these living beings.
You should probably go get that checked out.
Exactly. Get rid of those midichlorians. We got a vaccine actually.
I felt like that was more of a plot device though, used to like say like why Anakin couldn't get in there in the first place, because you know Mace Windu was like the boy's too young, or he's
too old.
Yeah. The boy's too old, and then. It was Qui-Gon, man. Qui-Gon was like, "Have you seen those metachlorian rates, though? Damn,
22,000.
Yeah, he's like, damn,
you're higher than Master Yoda."
Oh, honestly, okay. So now that we're on the Star Wars topic, where do you want to see them go with the series now?
Leave it alone.
No. Like,
not true.
I feel like now they shouldn't make episode movies. Like there should never be an episode 10.
Almost like The Mandalorian. I think that route is really good.
They're making an Obi-Wan TV show. Give me a Darth Vader hunting down the Jedi with the Inquisitors series. Give me that. Like, I know the video game, like the new video game's about that, but like,
you know,
give me a TV show of like Darth Vader, like because that 30-year gap where he was just like from episode 3, when like Anakin becomes Darth Vader, to episode 4, like. He had to be the most badass dude in the whole galaxy.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, the comics touch on that, but, dude, give us, like, some visuals for that.
100%. Like, we only saw him in 4, 5, and 6, and, like, dude, the graphic capabilities weren't there.
Yeah.
They were not there, dude.
Think about that Rogue One scene.
Immense, dude.
It would be all like that.
Immense.
It would all be like that.
I wouldn't say that though. You know.
Well, not all like that.
But. Yeah.
You know something I'd really like to see though. I'd really like to see from Star Wars is there we go. I really like to see.
Say a little bit back. Yeah. There we go.
I'd like to see Emperor Palpatine join Darth Darth Plagueis.
Plagueis?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see him on Naboo just doing his thing and just screwing over his dad. I feel like that would be a really good
That would.
movie.
There should be more Sith.
I think
movies.
Knights of the older, like, or the Old Republic. I think they should start going around that, like, you know, just like ancient tales, dude. Because at one point it wasn't the rule of two. You didn't just have two Sith. You had thousands of Sith.
Wars with the Jedi. and Sith.
Yeah, exactly. You had the strongest Sith too, way stronger than Vader was, dude.
Oh yeah. But
like,
at the same time, you had the Sith at the very weak, because like the rule of two was really implemented to keep the Sith strong. Because Darth Vader realized that like the Sith was being a bunch of pussies. It was like, no, man.
Yeah,
it's like yo,
everyone's power hungry at that point.
Yeah. Yep. But
it's a check and balance almost.
Yep. That's true.
So let me ask you guys this. Moving on from the Star Wars discussion, do you think in America, religion and church are separate?
To an extent, because listen, religion still could be agnostic, could be atheist. That's still a
religion.
Yeah.
Quote
right?
Unquote. So you're saying, like, just to clarify what the question is, church and religion being separate, do you think they're too intertwined? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, I'm saying this. I'm saying America clearly states that like
separation of church and state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
But I find it kind of funny how like everyone who's making these big decisions on abortion just so happen to have Christian morals. And I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying, why is it that the people get to decide what happens to the people who don't believe in that because it's not written in their religious scripture? Why should they have to follow that rule?
All right, so I think, well, you look back even 20 years, man, and we used to swear on a Bible when we'd go into court. So,
well,
I
you
mean,
you can swear on any preference.
Every preference, yeah. But still, the fact that we would place our hand on something of religious, you know, that's still a combination of church and state. But now, I mean, dude, you can't really chop it up to that. Yes, it is a Christian moral to say that you shouldn't kill a baby, but that is also just a moral, I guess. And I see it. I have a personal side, and I never want to state it, but, you know, I see both sides to it.
Yeah.
You know, why people feel like that and why they don't feel like that. And I don't think you should just chop it up to them being Christian, because I believe there's probably some Christians on the other side that are just fighting just as hard to say people are allowed to do whatever they want with their body, and there's nowhere in the Bible does it say you should not kill a baby. Well, let's not even say it's a baby. It's a fetus or whatever. Maybe it's not alive. You know.
But there's like certain rules for like there's like 3 things you could do as a priest that you need to talk to another priest to get a confession in, and like one of the big no-nos as a priest is like it's a sin if you ever participated in an abortion. Yeah.
Well, you got to. Sorry, I'm good.
I think, well, if we're going to talk about abortion, I just think we're at the point in. You came into a hot one.
Disturbance in the force.
You came into a hot one, dude.
Yeah. He texted me saying, "Sorry, there's a big one. There's a big one coming."
Almost.
How long were you thinking about that? How long were you thinking about that? You're like, fuck.
I was fighting the Hershey squirts for like 20 minutes. It was bad.
but to ramble on my point real quick, I just think we're at this like, it's almost like archaic way of thinking about it. It's like at this point in our society, like, why should we care what other people do that doesn't affect anybody else?
Well, I think to an extent it's morally wrong, because I don't know if you've seen like governors and stuff like that. There's this governor that was talking about like, we keep the babies alive. You talked about Alex Jones. It was on the Alex Jones podcast for Joe.
Right.
And he's like, we keep the babies alive. And I actually looked far into that. And that's actually what Planned Parenthood does. They do sometimes, on special occasions, keep the baby alive in an incubation chamber, then harvest them for their organs. Now, dude, that is wrong. That's killing somebody.
That's wrong.
That is killing somebody, and that's what it's going towards. That's what I don't like. I'm kind of like on the fence of like,
Are you talking about like stem cells and stuff like that?
Using it for stem cells, different organs, growing organs,
harvesting.
But
yeah.
to be fair on stem cells, like in the brief knowledge that we have, like there's been some amazing shit that they've been
Yes,
able
but
to
I
do
feel
with
like
that.
if you're gonna, you shouldn't sit there and keep that fetus alive afterhand. If you're gonna do some
It's not even a
medical
fetus,
testing,
it's a baby now, you know?
Oh, well,
yeah.
but I'm saying a lot of abortions, it's illegal. Even Trump's trying to make it just completely illegal to have the 9 months out of question. Like, you can't abort in 9 months.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, before then, I would still consider it a fetus. At least, like, let it have its due death if that's going to be the case. But I just to harp on Tom's point of archaic really quick.
Yeah.
We are in that point of age and awareness and having to get along with people in different points of view, that it is archaic to sit there and try and dictate the choices somebody makes with their life if it's not affecting anybody outside of their own. Because, I mean, even if you don't agree with it, I personally would never get an abortion. I would suck it up and deal with my own consequences. Yeah. That's what I would do. If you wanna have sex, then you have to face the repercussions of that. Mm-hmm. Even if you have, some multiple effects of birth control going.
Yeah.
on.
I think me personally, if like me and the woman I was seeing, we had unprotected sex and she gets pregnant, I think at that point I would be like, look, this is how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you don't want to go through with this, it's your choice.
Yeah, there's one point I have.
It's like a 51 to 49.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
that, like she gets that extra 1%.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes two
Like
to make a baby.
men
Yeah.
should totally have an
50-50.
input
I
on
think
it.
they should, dude.
But
Have a say.
but at the end of the day, you're not the one that they're digging in and fucking taking it out of.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's crazy too because humans, like every other animal in the animal kingdom, like they don't have birthing problems like humans do because our skulls are so huge compared to the pelvis area that when women give birth, they usually end up dying, and that's why back in the day, before all those eggheads got together and figured out how to end mortality rates in women, a lot of women died during childbirth, man. So I'm saying this. The woman takes on the full brunt
of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel
Puts
like
your body at risk. Yeah.
I feel like, honestly, I want to say 50-50 because that's personal bias, but I know the right thing would be 100% girl's choice, and I'd have to just
Well,
be
yeah.
okay.
But, dude,
It's
okay,
also
we have
it's
something.
also another person's child to take into consideration, though, too. Like, it's a two-way street at that point. It's two
and I'm
people's
completely.
choice.
You know why, dude? I
Yeah.
mean, there's very big reasons, and it's okay, dude. I think there should be laws set in place though, because we use this as a willy-nilly sort of thing. It's like that's a very serious choice, and I think that there should be very specific guidelines. Like, hey, maybe 2 months is the maximum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I think there should be stricter like
First
You can do it- you can
first
do it, but, like,
trimester.
you can do it a week before.
More like, set rules in terms of it. And I think you would get both sides of the argument to kind of come together on that. Like,
yeah.
we can, like, the people who are like pro-life will be like, you know what, like, as long as it's not like, because I think their biggest like gripe about it is that like you're killing a living being and everything. Like, if we can, for lack of a better term, like
Get
nab
down to
it,
the sign and
get it before it starts beating. The heart starts beating.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would like. I think like a lot of people would be like, abortion's not too bad.
Not as bad.
Not
yes,
as bad,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. And I think there's a way to appease both sides, man. I think there's really a way to appease both sides. You gotta learn what's gonna affect both sides the least, I guess, in aggression.
As long as
That's the thing about the current like political climate in America is like there's no such thing as a compromise. It's either the left wants it their way or the right wants it their way.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to be like, we've gotten to the point where the two sides of the aisle are so separate that like you as a citizen have to be like, well, I don't like this about this side, but I do like this about them. And then I don't like this about that side, but I do like this. And you kind of have to just weigh the pros and cons, and like you might like not really fully support the party that you're voting for, but they really harp in on the issue that you're real passionate about.
Yeah.
And so you're going to vote for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think like well, George Washington never intended us to be a two-party political system.
Yeah.
And I think now that, like, I mean, we're too far gone to, like, really go back on that.
There used to be so many.
Well, yeah.
Compared to now.
You had the
there being
Whigs,
two
too.
main ones.
The Whigs.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there are
Whigs,
was
a ton of
Quakes, Quakers and the Whigs.
too.
there
Was
are
it-
Yeah, I think it was the Federalists and the Whigs.
What Federalists and the Whigs? Yeah, that's
there
what it was.
are other, you know,
Or Quakers and
sub, you know, political like preferences. Like I kind of would, if I had to put myself in a box, I would say I'm more libertarian. You know,
Okay,
I think people
sure,
should have the rights to choose to their freedom. But I'm not like one of the whole blown libertarians where it's like you gotta fight for yourself. You know, nobody gets help from anybody.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
type shit.
definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
I think there should be like there's a happy medium between both. But I think,
I look at centralists and I'm like, you probably have it the most right out of everyone. Let's be honest, dude.
Yeah.
Because they don't really lean one way or the other. They're kind of there as like a morality standard. It's like, you know, if they're leaning on this side, we should kind of look at them and be like, okay, that's kind of right. If they're leaning on this side, you know, but like it's hard to tell. You know what I mean? Especially, like in this political climate, it's really fucking hard to tell. What's dude, honestly, man, what's the scariest thing to you and like that the government does? I don't know, Trev, what's the scariest thing to you that you think the government does?
Well, the government does.
Yeah, the government does to us.
Well, I mean, just that one last point, I guess this could be a part of it going in. I don't know if it ties, but just from what we were talking about before is I think how we're talking about there's only mainly two parties, and how I brought up however many episodes ago, it was me talking about how I think that we're repeating history at this point.
Yeah.
Because how much of a divide we're creating.
Yeah.
And we're, like I said earlier, since it's 2020, we should all know that people have different points of views, and the only way that we're all going to get along and things are going to be successful is if we, you know, coerce with each other and acknowledge our differences and learn. So, but that's where I think that we're repeating history the most, because that's what every culture's done so far, and that's, for the most part, been most of their reckonings, at least a certain percentage. But I mean, the scariest thing, I guess, how much control people are willing to give up at this point. Because I mean, you know, Apple won't let the government hack people's phones.
Oh, they never will.
They never will or anything.
Yeah.
But just the amount of analysis that they'll give you if there's some criminal intent for a reason to be warranted to get that phone, then sure, they'll give it to them for the sake of if they're having criminal activity on that phone.
I don't know if they'd give it to them just because that set like a precedent, right? Like if you gave it for one reason, why not give it for the other?
Like, I mean, if the police can't get into the phone itself and it's not voluntary to get up, but I'm pretty sure there's no way that people can't just hide their text messages in court. Text messages are used so much in court. I feel like if you don't give up your phone, you're holding contempt in court.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have an experience like this. So I was 16 years old. So I was in the back of a police car. We're not going to get into how that happened.
Maybe another time, dude.
But
I want to hear it.
I remember the cop, he was like, give me your phone. Like, give me the passcode to your phone. I was like, no. Like, why would I do that? He basically just wanted to see who I'd been communicating to.
So he could bust them and
everything.
Yeah.
But he hit me with if you don't give it to me, it's 90 days. It's a 90-day jail sentence. I mean, I'm 16 years old.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I didn't give it to him.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, the fact that they can use that against you is like, if you don't give me this.
Oh, no, that's a lie right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, he totally tried to do it because I was 16. He thought I didn't know my rights.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean.
This is a corrupt official.
For the sake of, if they're
Oakland
trying
County
to.
Sheriff.
If they're trying to criminally charge you
Oakland
with, like, distribution of marijuana, then they can provide a warrant, like get a warrant to get your phone and look in your phone from that point. But at that immediate time, they have no right to look on your phone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
unless they have a reason to get on it. But I guess, that's something that I'm scared about.
Coming straight from the underground.
So much is put onto your phone these days. So much that's about you. You can figure out almost everything about a person that you need to know. That's the worst and the best.
If you opened up
just
their phone.
by you opening their phone and looking at their apps.
How much you think you can tell about someone by their porn history?
their sexuality and their fucking sexual fucking interest.
Could you just I don't know, just get in their mindset with that? Like, could you just totally I don't know.
I feel like there'd be just It's a very fine-eyed thing of interest that you could either be like, okay, this person, I could maybe be relatable to them, or all right, let's stay the fuck away from them.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sorry, I just thought of another
that's
thing.
all you can read from that.
What if you were offered $1 million to show your grandparents your porn history?
I'd do it in a heartbeat, dude.
Dude, you know, I hate when people say
I've opened some videos for them too.
I wouldn't do it for $1 million. If you saw someone put a briefcase on this table right here with $1 million in cash,
you would show your grandmother your porn history.
I mean, none of my grandparents are alive, so fuck yeah. I mean, I just go to their grave and be like,
if your grandparents aren't alive, just imagine a spiritual projection of them just in your room, right? And they're literally asking you, it's like, why have you summoned me here?
And I feel like my grandpa would be like,
dude, I'd even bust open some videos for them, dude. I don't even have to show them just the history, dude.
$1 million is $1 million.
I would never
so weird. My mom's calling me right now. I would this conversation.
Son, what have you done? Dude. What are you talking about, Mom? Why is there a man offering me $1 million at the house right now? Why? He says he has something to show me. Bro, I'm saying this. I am never, ever showing my grandparents my porn history because I don't even know.
It'd be so disrespectful, but still,
Matt Ginther's a man of character.
If you told your
$1 million,
I just don't want to have to explain to my grandma what hentai and
$1 million.
You feel me though?
That's not that much money.
He's like.
$1 billion.
That's more like it.
Bro, they're all fucking laughing because it's like that much money hasn't even been invented yet. Man, I love Austin Powers.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What do you say to someone who's never seen Austin Powers?
Watch it. It's funny.
You need a life.
I met this one girl, right, and she never watched Austin Powers, and when that information was exposed, everyone did the same thing. No way, you haven't watched Austin Powers? It's so funny. And you can just see this look on her face like she's heard it a million times. She's like, I know, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, dude.
Imagine the whole world just breathing down your neck, being like, you gotta do this. And if you don't understand how funny it is.
Well, dude, that's how I am with Game of Thrones. Like, I watch that, but I'm not pressing people, but I see people every fucking day. If somebody says they have never watched Game of Thrones, I'm not the kind of person to do this, but they're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. So they get mad at you. I never watched it, so I mean, people get mad at you.
Yeah, and if you never watched it.
It's like, dude, I don't have HBO, man.
Yeah.
I'd say if you're into finding a good quality show,
go
watch it.
It's good. It's a good show. It's a great show.
It's a great show.
It's not going to be the best. I'm still going to watch The Office more times than I'll ever watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's a great Game of Thrones is a great show, but
one time through.
It's not great because it has it's based in a fantasy world. It's great because of the dialogue, really. Honestly, straight up. And that's one thing that I think I was harping back to it, and I think I mentioned it earlier, but that's one thing I really respect about the Christopher Nolan Batman series, man, is it's not just a superhero movie. It's an incredible detective movie that just so happens to have Batman and the Joker.
It's an intense drama with constant suspense. At least The Dark Knight, constant suspense throughout the whole movie.
Oh my god!
I just went Batman as the fuel.
I was like, dude. Are you kidding? I thought you were being serious because I was thinking of Tim Burton movies, dude. I was like,
Val Kilmer as the Batman.
Oh my! You kidding me, dude?
Danny DeVito as the
Bat
Penguin.
Nipples. That's not even Tim Burton. That was somebody else.
No, that was Sam Raimi. Bat Nipples. That was Sam Raimi.
with the Bat credit card.
Oh no, it was Joe Schumacher.
That was Joel Schumacher.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Cool down. And I was like, oh, I was just,
Is that the one with Arnold in it?
Yeah, Mr. Freeze rolls in, and then all of his goons are on skates. Like, how do you practically fight on skates? They're not even using those.
I don't know, man.
Bane's just a trog.
I can't hate on anything Arnold Schwarzenegger's ever done because I think he is actually.
Ooh, say that again for me, Tom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hate on some things, but movie-wise, because I think some of the funniest quotes have came from Arnold. If you watch Pumping Iron, there's some funny ass shit. That
some of the most memeable movie stars.
But it's because he doesn't understand American culture. Like at that point,
yeah.
And he's just he's saying stuff like, all right, so he's talking about like the feeling he gets from like a workout.
It's like an orgasm.
He's like,
it's like coming.
You know, I relate to the feeling of getting the pump to, you know, coming, like having sex with the woman, you know. He's like, I'm in the gym, I'm pumping the iron, you know, I'm coming, you know, I'm at home with my girlfriend, I'm coming, you know, I'm on stage pumping assholes, I'm coming, you know, I'm coming all the time. It's terrific. Straight direct
You've
quote,
never seen that clip?
Yes, please
Wait,
go.
You can find it on YouTube,
After this
too.
podcast, look that up. It is the funniest quote, and he says it with a straight face.
I'm coming.
I'm coming all the time. It's terrific.
Bro, he even smokes weed in that documentary.
Yeah.
And then he publicly, and then he publicly stated that he's never smoked weed before. And then people were like, "What are you doing this?"
Their pre-workout was cocaine, and their like
Post-workout was
steroids.
Oh shit, dude!
Yeah,
What?
they were pumping steroids like crazy.
Yeah,
back
100%, dude. You don't get a physique
Well,
like
a
that.
lot of those leagues are, especially the weightlifting leagues. A
Yeah.
lot of them are non-testing.
then. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
they have non-testing and they have testing.
Well,
divisions
there's
of it,
like
too.
13
Really?
non-tested and probably 4 or 5
I mean,
tested.
I work out a decent amount now.
Yeah.
Dude, you can totally tell when dudes are on roids.
Oh, 100%,
Yeah.
dude.
Bro,
There
Not
are
natties, bro.
even dude, I work out like a local gym, you know, it's not
Yeah.
too big, not, you know, whatever. There's dudes who are clearly on
Man,
steroids.
we all know-
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, clearly.
We all know
100%,
men on
yeah.
steroids. What are you guys' thoughts on women on steroids? Like, does that really does that?
There are
muscular
women
I know,
women powerlifters
I'm
that
very
do that,
aware.
yeah.
I'm just
Though
saying.
they're getting themselves pretty much closer to being a man, though.
Well,
dude.
I mean, what happens is the clitoris starts forming a baby penis. It's called an enlarged clitoris.
yes.
I'm saying this. So,
the witch's finger.
Yeah.
Witch's finger.
I'm asking this. So, what's up with that? Do you guys fuck with that kind of
No.
physique?
No, I don't like it.
I mean, like,
I could totally
I'm not gonna
just
hate on
imagine-
somebody
Here,
for
I'm
living
a-
their life the one
You're
they
Yeah.
telling me
Yeah.
you guys wouldn't be down with this like ripped ass girl just putting your head?
No,
in
Dude,
would you
nah,
be down,
because-
dude? The
because-
question is,
dude,
would
just
you be
Just
down?
imagine
Matt
having your
Ginther's down for
thigh-
anything, so don't ask him that
Hey,
question.
I'm a
dude.
guy who likes to party, man. I've never hided it away from that. And if you can't handle
He
that,
likes to party.
and then I don't
See, you can have that, but don't impose that on me. all right?
dude, listen, I'm not imposing.
Don't
anything,
call me.
but don't.
That's a night I'll stay home, all right?
But if I bring over a freaking ripped ass woman over to the grandparents for Christmas, right?
So you do that in front of them, but you won't
Instead
show
of
them your
doing the
porn history.
yeah, because I don't
I
want
see.
to.
I would rather bring them over a ripped woman.
Oh yeah. that's
No,
true.
Matt
then show
would,
them a
Matt's
video.
dirty enough to do
Well,
things in front of
if I'm not
people.
getting paid $1 million
Oh,
to
yeah.
bring her over, then I don't know.
I
You
don't
know, $1 million is
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
money, dude.
exactly. You're gonna be getting some looks. The
I'm
whole
gonna just
time,
say
dude.
this:
You're getting some looks.
if I lived in New York, I would have been kicked off the subway by now. Because I'm just, I'll just probably
Probably
be doing
would.
some freak. Bro, that reminds me, and I'm not relating this to me in any way.
Thank God he's never been on a plane before.
I was on Twitter, right?
We gotta make
and
an
I saw
emergency landing.
I saw this one video of this guy just getting his ass beat in New York, and I was like, and it's like, "We found him" was the like title of the video. So then I started going through the comments. This guy apparently like straight up like tried to kidnap this girl off the subway, and someone
Damn.
videotaped it too. It was like this guy got up when the doors, you know, and his stopped. Literally like went in, picked up this girl, and this girl's like, "Mom, yo, mom." Oh my gosh. And then when he gets his ass beat, it's hilarious. His ass falls out, and everyone's like, "Yeah, boy." He's like, "It's not me. Yeah, boy." Oh man.
I think I remember that, dude. I don't know how. I think the way I remember this video coming up in my brain somehow
Yeah.
just now is we were talking about you and wanting to get it dirty with fit chicks, and now
Yeah,
we're talking
yeah,
about fights.
yeah.
I saw a clip of this fight probably a month or so
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
maybe longer, but it's like 4 minutes long and about 2 minutes and 45 seconds to up to like 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It's this guy that apparently that was dating his little sister, like.
Wait. The guy. Oh, I
a
gotcha.
guy was dating his little sister,
Yep.
and so it turns out the guy that was dating his little sister abused her physically.
Oh, really?
So during the fight, the guy that was abusing her got up really close to him to go into a grapple, and so
Yeah.
the older brother went and grabbed him by the dick and pulled it as hard as he fucking could for about like 3 minutes straight.
Oh,
just holding it.
they were like army dudes, right?
No.
Oh,
They
dude,
were
I
just
just saw
fighting
this
on the
one-
street.
Okay, I saw this one the other day. It was happening in the bear, like in their like sleeping quarters or whatever. And this dude is like, he's like on top of the other guy, and he's like grabbing on his balls or his dick, and he's like, look, the other dude's like, look at my dick, dude, look at my dick, and he wouldn't, dude.
Bro, you guys
the one was winning, and then the other one fucking grabbed on his dick because he saw he was losing, dude.
I
saw a video one time.
I thought he was grabbing his dick because he was just congratulating the winner. Yeah, he's just like,
no. That was
He's like, here's your victory hand job.
Bro,
Congratulations.
straight up, that like, dude, like in ancient Greece, man, like a lot of men used to rape a lot of other men, and it wasn't on no
little boys.
Yeah, well, no,
dude,
yes,
not even that.
In those
but
cultures,
it's like
though,
warriors. Like I'm talking about, I just defeated you on the battlefield.
I'm gonna rape you.
Now and that's like the most you can. That's
Dude,
as a man, I think, and I can speak from personal experience. If you put your dick up my butt, you've won life,
So
and
you're
I'm now your
speaking
bitch.
from a personal experience.
I'm saying this. You can't.
I'm just saying. You're
If
saying
you were
that.
gonna make me feel unmasculated,
I think
and
we're really
belittled-
deeping into Matt's like, childhood here.
It's a psyche, dude.
Listen, I keep my psyche out in the open. Like I
You know,
know.
yeah,
I feel like
100%. You
we need
are.
to take this psyche of a podcast towards a more positive route.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on past me getting butthole raped, I'm saying this. I think I don't know. Like, how do we make men stop trying to take other men's masculinity? Like, how do we fix the problem of over masculinity?
I feel like that's a lesser issue than like how some men treat women, though.
I think they're
like
both
that's-
actually very valid. I think they're both just as valid.
I think they're
because-
intertwined.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel the
Yep.
They're
I
intertwined.
feel like
Yeah.
feel like a man who would treat a woman very disrespectful is also
It's somebody
a man
who's unconfident in their own
Exactly.
masculinity.
who feels like he's disrespected by other
so
men.
yeah,
Yeah.
who's
So you
someone who
take-
constantly tries to assert dominance.
People who have like we were talking about earlier, abuse history back then, they've gotten their like men, like we have a certain amount of pride to ourselves. You know, you can try and say that men and women, the gender spectrum, whatever, but there are certain differences.
Very
between
big
us.
difference, physical
and, like,
differences.
Men are usually more proud, more
We're providers.
pride.
Yeah.
We wear our pride on our sleeves and stuff. And like
Testosterone,
when you
dude.
get that shit stripped from you,
Yeah.
and like you want to establish dominance.
Yeah.
You might be dating a girl who's more than likely, if you're a woman, is going to be inferior to you physically.
Yep.
And you know that you can dominate that person physically and they're not going to do anything about it. Like, those people, like, they will do that.
Yeah,
like
100%.
people who have
Tom, those aren't
confident-
people. Those are pieces of shit.
true, but we're
But yeah, speaking of
confidence issues, lack of confidence doesn't mean that like you're the shy, like quiet person. You could be the loudest person in the room,
100%.
but like
you have no
you don't have confidence.
Yeah.
But you overexert yourself on certain things to make you seem like you have that.
That's a good insight, dude. That is actually really good insight. I've noticed that, dude. Even if with myself in some situations. I mean, I'm a very loud and boisterous kind of person. I mean, I like to express my mind a lot, but I've noticed throughout my past, dude, there's been a lot of people that like, I guess, friends, quote unquote. So my guy friends that push me down and stuff like that, and that does play a role in, I mean, relationships that I have with women and stuff like that, because I need to feel like I need that upper hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether it's not like an abusive, like physical or mentally abusive, but I still feel like I need that sort of like upper hand, because I sometimes I never feel like I have it. You know what I mean? So
I do know what you mean, Adam.
yeah,
I feel like men specifically, people need to find that happy medium between like, letting people, like not letting people take advantage of you, but like being more giving, but also asserting yourself at the same time.
yeah,
Because I feel like most people, it's either you're on one side of the spectrum on that. Either you're always asserting your dominance, asserting yourself, or you let people walk all over you all the time.
Yeah.
You got to find that balance between it.
exactly. And I think that's where it starts, man. Is like, just little things like not letting things get to you. That's a big thing. Is like, not taking everything too seriously. We take a lot of things way too seriously. Where it's like, yeah, dude, stuff that happened to you in childhood between you and friends that may put you down for the rest of your life.
Right.
Those should kind of be left in the dust. But like, Yeah, those can be carried so far, dude. Those can be carried so far in your life into actual relationships, and that's a very, very discomforting thought.
That's the most like scary thing in life, really, is when you bring toxic things from past relationships into new relationships, and that ends up.
You should never start a new like serious relationship until you're like healed from the last one.
I'll be honest.
Well, yeah, that's like a quote that sticks with me that I've heard for a long time is that the majority of relationship problems that you have are singleness problems. Mm-hmm. So that if you have insecurities going into a relationship and you don't trust certain people in your life and you're kind of yourself on your own little island.
Yeah.
And you don't fully commit to that person. Yeah. Then from there, that's fully always going to be a little island. But then as you go on dating and it gets more intense or your friendship grows, whatever the relationship is, it just rises on an exponential curve, It just keeps on going up because there's more and more weight on a base.
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying.
What are some things that you see and you've experienced in relationships currently that are being normalized that you think are weird? Because my two biggest ones is sharing social media accounts together. Like they have yours and you have theirs. I think that shit's weird. There should be a front line between that.
You guys break up.
Like you mean not allowed to log into each other's? You mean
like having your girlfriend's Instagram on your phone. So like if a dude DMs her, you can be the one that responds to it.
That leads to such bad
the trust issues. You're already establishing that you don't trust that person.
Yeah, and jealousy. Jealousy too.
And the other one is sharing your location.
I understand that.
I never did
for sure
that with anybody.
I can get it if you do it for like 24 hours. Like you're like, hey, like I'm going here and here, blah blah blah. Like just have my location just in case if it's not safe.
You're going down to the city
but
for the night.
When you constantly have people's location, you're constantly checking it. You shouldn't be with that person because
that's true.
Because like you obviously don't trust them.
If you're constantly checking,
if you can't trust somebody to go out, have a good time with their friends.
Yeah.
Like,
but I wouldn't say
if it's to make sure they're safe. I think that's in a good light. I think that
right.
That's
if they're going
that's
out and they want to share it with you, like hey, I'm gonna be here. Like check in every now and then.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Should you be with somebody that? Just as an ethical question.
Okay.
Should you be with somebody that you even feel that you have to check their location throughout the entire night at all?
I feel like
because the person that you're with, I feel you should trust them to be it. Because at the end of the day, they should be a whole 100% sentient individual human being that can handle themselves. But you guys have come together to be a team and build a life together. But because a lot of people, why do you think we have such a high divorce rate? Because a lot of people don't look at marriage in the way you should go in correctly and don't prepare themselves. Look how many people are our age. I can name, there's so many people we all know that are getting married at our age, and there's some of them that it's like, man, you're jumping
fucking
in.
up.
Yes.
You're jumping in.
That actually, there's
love is blind.
A person in my school who just got
love is
engaged,
blind
like,
if you let it.
You allow yourself.
That's really young, dude. 20. I mean,
I think it's weirder to see people getting engaged and married at my age than like having a kid now.
But like,
it's kind of flipped.
Yeah, exactly.
But it makes sense to me, right? Like, love is blind in the sense that you look past certain qualities that other people wouldn't because you're in love with that person, right? And I'm saying this. If I could totally see myself getting married at 20 if I found the right girl. I mean, my dad got married at 20, but my parents are separated now because my dad fucked up and never lived with my mom before they got married.
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't live with someone for at least 3 years, in my eyes, I feel like you're fucking up and you're not really putting yourself in a position of success.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it, man.
Because people are different when you live with them.
You got to see someone snap. And you
start noticing patterns and like things that upset them or upset you that they do, and maybe it doesn't conform to what you like.
Right.
Also, the thing, we're getting married at such a young age for our generations too. At the same time, simply because like back in the day, sure, your parents were married at the age of 20, but 20 back then was probably more like 30 now.
Yeah.
So they were a lot more stable and mature by the time. A lot of people, they were 14, 15. They had full-time jobs. They were working.
But exactly. I'm saying this, though, as a 20-year-old, imagine having another income.
Yeah, but I mean, even though, just imagine somebody having the same income as you.
Yeah.
What are you gonna, like,
that's
not
still way more money.
That's more money, but I'm saying, is it smart for you guys to get
No,
married and move
absolutely
in?
not.
No.
I mean-
you guys should both stay with your parents
Yeah.
until you guys can financially pay everything off with
Well,
cash.
and learn ways to spend, learn things like finances and doing your own taxes and all that stuff that comes with being married, dude.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is that coming around from the point is that I know that you can see that, but just coming from like mine and Adam's point of view, since we're a little bit older, just saying like there's so much more to being married than how much you care about a person, because it's not even how much you care about a person. A lot of people think about marriage, oh, you love them for your whole life. You do,
Yeah.
but there's going to be even periods where there's years where you can't really
Resent
look at them
each
the
other.
right way because you got one of you two aren't making the right decision. And it might not be, I'm not even saying have an affair. Like if your husband or your wife is neglecting with cleaning up around the house and picking up the kids after school because they're staying late at work and they're making excuse, and that's honestly what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, that can lead to a bad year with a little bit of bad synergy. Everything at the end might be okay, but that's what I'm trying to get at is that it's such a mature thing to have to get involved. And if you're trying to successfully get into a marriage like that and you want to not fuck it up, then you have to take things at a slow degree, at a good pace. Of course, there are going to be times where you have to push yourself and be comfortable. That's how you get out of anything and learn. And that's why a lot of the times when I see them get together with their high school sweetheart, there's a smaller percentage. Like my sister, she
married her high
the
school
second she
sweetheart?
met this kid in high school, she's like, I'm going to marry him. And then
Yep.
eventually they're married and they're a happy couple now and stuff. But that doesn't happen very often, especially now with our lack of maturity socially and how we deal with relationships. We haven't been given those tools, especially.
You know what I've realized, especially with like the last generation, like my dad's generation, not really with us because we're still so young, but I've realized that like when you get married and you don't have 6 bodies under your belt, as a man, you like almost end up resenting your wife for like wasting your 20s.
I feel like that's just
sure.
coming from your worldview and the way that you view.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can be very content, and I think those are people of not even quiet desperation. I think those are people that are desperate to see the world more so than somebody who's just content, you know, with what they have. You know, what we were talking about earlier, people that don't leave the town that they're in.
Yeah.
You know, some people are content, and some people are very extrovertic and like to be out and very adventurous and, you know, whatever that may indulge in their sexual activity and stuff like that. But
some people do need 6 bodies under their belt to
yeah, exactly. I agree and I
Figure out
disagree.
what
You know what I
they
mean?
want.
It's-
some people.
I've heard,
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, like, you know, person like we were talking about earlier has the right to choose how they live their life and
Yeah,
what they
that's
want to
true.
do with it.
It's a person-to-person case,
If
dude.
somebody wants to marry the girl that they've been with since they were 16, more power to you.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
If you can make that work and you can financially support both of yourselves and you want to start a family with that person, you think that person's the one, then go for it.
Yeah.
you know?
What happens
But
if you
for a
start
person like me, you know, I mean, I've had failed relationships and stuff like that. It's part of growing up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think if you get it right your first try, either you are super lucky or 2, you just didn't want to try again.
Yeah,
I would say,
And dude, some relationships though even take breaks, like towards when you're about to get married.
yeah,
Like, let's say you
yeah.
got engaged, and it's like a very civil break where it's like, hey, we should just go experiment with other people to make sure that it's
is
gonna
it,
be this.
Yeah, my cousin.
Sorry.
Go.
Okay. So my buddy, very close friend of mine, we're both 25. He has been dating this girl since he was 14.
wow.
And
Wow.
yeah, so man, 11 years.
Power
right?
couple.
Crazy. Yeah.
That's a long time. And
Long-ass
they're getting
time.
married, I mean, this next month. So, I mean, that just goes to show you, I mean, and he's very happy with her. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like they have a broken relationship or anything. They are very, very, very happy together. And as far as I know, have always been happy together. I did not go to school with them. I don't know, like, the extent of their relationship or anything like that. But the stories that I've heard, you know what I mean? Just great things. And they've been a part of each other's lives. And that is his comforting person in his life, and
Yeah.
back to and vice versa.
That's
So
Yeah,
I mean, when you find that person, I feel like you find that person and you really know because they are that, that light in a dark tunnel, that the angel on your shoulder at all times,
Yeah, my cousin, for example, he got married October 28 in 2018. Yeah, him and this girl, they met in high school. When they kind of like, they didn't date in high school, but they were friends, right? Mm-hmm. And they kind of figured out they liked each other, but he was going to go to Princeton, which is in New Jersey, and she's from Oklahoma. Yeah. So she went to OU, Oklahoma University. Mm-hmm. And, they dated on and off for like 10 years. My cousin's like super smart, so he was always traveling abroad, studying abroad and stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, to tell a person like, hey, I'm not going to be in the country for 6 months at a time, but you have to stay this committed to me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's not fair to a person.
No. Never fair.
It's not fair. So, like, they had I don't want to call it an open relationship.
Okay.
Where they still communicated, but, like, they saw other people.
When they're in town, they see each other.
When they're in town, they see each other. Yeah. Totally. And, they made things work. They kept in communication. And then, at the end of the day, they realized that you're the one that makes me the most happy, and I want to be with you. Yeah. And now they're happily married and, like, probably working on a kid. I don't know. I mean,
that's amazing, dude.
So, I mean, there's different ways. Every relationship is different.
Yeah.
There's no carbon. It's like raising a kid, too. There's no, like, copy paste way to do it. It's everybody's got their different
there's
avenue.
A recipe, man.
There's a different way.
I guarantee you they put in a lot of work to that relationship.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, totally.
Kids are like relationships and anything in life. You get within what you put out, and a lot of people just never put in and always get out, and that's why their relationships fail.
Yeah.
It's fucked. Yeah. Let me ask you this, though, guys. Would you guys ever get an abortion in marriage?
No.
I don't.
And more of like
I don't think.
It's. What? I think that question is like,
if you're not financially stable, like, would you have that child anyway?
It's so situational, dude. So situational.
Yeah.
Because like we can talk about hypotheticals all day, but it's like you can talk about like, oh, if I was there, I would have blah 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 blah. You weren't there. You don't know how you really would have reacted in that situation and where you are in your life and where you are with that person. So, I don't know. I mean, I think that's like a question that you should ask me if I'm going through that. You know?
Yeah. And once again, it's not your choice.
You're right.
At the end of the day, it's not
if my wife approached me and asked if I would be okay with aborting the fetus inside her belly.
But I hate talking politics and putting my stuff out there, dude.
I would totally be down to hear her out. I'd totally be like, you don't want this baby? All right, let's hear it out. Like, I want to, let me hear your side of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, it's situational.
Everything's always on the table for me, and when I try it and I don't like it, that's when I put it.
Yeah, you gotta. I think in that, you just gotta hear people out.
Yeah,
hear their reason out.
Yeah, definitely.
Can I just say this? Can we stop talking about abortion?
Yeah, dude. Let's get on a light subject. All right, dude. I have one last thing. All right. So this might bring a little conversation out. New Zelda Netflix series. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
What?
It's a live action Zelda series.
Really?
I'm pissed about it.
Why?
Why?
Dude, Link is such an iconic character, an iconic looking character too. And I get it with The Witcher. They did a good job. They made him look right.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely.
Right? Is it Henry like what they did with Sonic and how it's animated?
Yeah, dude. I mean, bro, like I'll show you guys some pictures.
His fighting style in The Witcher was exactly how Geralt swings his sword. The way he talks is exactly how Geralt talks, and the way he even like.
You guys know who The Witcher is? Who plays The Witcher?
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
Yeah, the guy who played Superman.
Yeah.
Awful role.
Awful.
Superman.
Yeah, terrible.
Comes back and just does amazing things, dude.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, can we go on this? Why can't they make a good Superman movie?
I don't fucking know. Dude, Christopher Reeves, dude. That dude killed it.
Yeah.
Every time.
I just don't think...
I honestly, I can't say I've ever sat down and watched the whole Superman movie.
I just don't
like even the old ones?
I usually get bored.
The old ones are really good.
You know what? I should go watch the old ones because I've never given them a fair shot.
They're just fun. They're just a fun time.
Real campy too.
See, there's sometimes with movies like I want like serious like storyline, and there's some there's like I just want to watch something that's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
exactly.
I think people kind of with critics and everything, because everybody's a critic now.
Yeah,
they kind of blur that line.
Yeah, definitely.
This movie's just fun. You can watch it with your friends, watch it with whoever, and have a couple laughs and enjoy the movie. And it's like, you know what, you might not get anything from that movie. Not all movies are designed for you to get something from it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think people there's such high expectations in film now that
Wow.
That's what the characters are supposed to look like in Zelda.
I mean, it's not too far off base from the source material, right? But at the same time, when you cast someone,
what about Mario? What if they did a Mario?
They did do that.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the movies.
That one was really bad.
that was disgusting.
Yeah, that was gross.
I'm just tired of all the fucking redubs of all these dumbass
Dude,
things.
Hollywood,
not that it's all stupid, but just how many superhero movies are doing. How many different redubs?
They're bludgeoning it.
Yeah,
they're bludgeoning it.
They should stretch this between 15 more years, man.
Yeah,
and do the movies way better, so there's way more of a culty following.
Bro, our generation in the history book, they're gonna be like, yo. This was the informational boom, and they really love superhero movies.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That is, dude. That's the dude. 2010 to 2020, boom, dude. This last decade, just all Marvel movies, man.
In 2008, when I saw Iron Man, if you told me then that they were gonna make 21 more movies based on this original story, I would have told you you're an idiot.
That sounds boring and overdone.
Yeah, but in fact, it was really
to be fair with you. To be fair with you, I love the Avengers movies. I think they're great.
Trevor, what do you think about them?
I mean, I've only seen the first one.
They're gonna get.
Wait, didn't you watch Guardians of the Galaxy too?
I watched the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
You didn't watch the second one?
I mean, I've heard decent things about it, but then I also heard bad things about it.
Every single one on Blu-ray, we're gonna watch through all of them. So
I think they're good movies. It's just you're beating a dead horse at some point.
I'd rather go and watch the Band of Brothers series or watch an old war movie or a documentary rather than just go and watch that.
I watch a Tarantino movie before I watch
Tarantino movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's some series that even Star Wars, we were talking about that earlier. Did 7, 8, and 9 really need to happen?
No, absolutely not. But I'll say this. The Avengers, every single movie in the Avengers needed to happen. Yeah. I'll also say that.
I loved the first two Iron Mans. The third one wasn't that good.
The third one isn't really good at all.
Dude, you actually rewatch it now. I think it's actually a cinematic
masterpiece. Because
dude.
I think a cinematic masterpiece is the first Pirates of the Caribbean. Because that
Pirates
movie
of the Caribbean movies were such good movies.
Dude, that
movie is based off
movie.
a ride. They made a cinematic masterpiece based off an amusement ride. If you can do that, you can do anything.
Well, all right. So wait, you're gonna tell me though.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3. Let's go through it real quick. It's about Tony Stark facing demons, about, basically his vision that he saw of the future while he's in another realm saving the Earth, because he knows that he doesn't have the ability to save the Earth at that time.
Yeah.
Now he's having anxiety attacks.
PTSD.
And it's about him recovering himself and getting back. Dude, I think they did such a beautiful job with that movie, and it's about him going and meeting some kid.
Yeah,
I think, you know what I mean? Teaching him, helping himself by teaching this kid.
Yeah,
I think that was amazing.
I know exactly what you're saying. Working through the kid's insecurities while also working through himself subconsciously. Yes. I think the Mandalorian twist was. Wait, that was the third one, right? The Mandalorian. Or not the Mandalorian, the Mandarin. Yeah, there we go.
I was about to say, it never was an Iron Man.
But John Favreau. But John Favreau. But anyway, the Mandarin is in the third. It's the third one, right? I thought that twist was thought that twist was really well done. Yeah. I thought Guy Pearce's character,
stupid.
Yeah, I thought that was so
that ends up being the Mandarin.
No. Yeah, him. Yeah.
Well, that's false because they actually just released it. There's gonna be a movie about the Mandarin, the real Mandarin with the 10 rings.
No way.
Yeah, they are, dude. Yeah. I mean, I'm done. I'm gonna be honest, dude, and I might piss off people by saying this. I am done with Marvel movies for a while.
I need a break.
After Endgame, dude.
And the next
yeah,
Deadpool.
Yeah, I think
Next Deadpool. That's good.
Deadpool's my favorite.
As long as it doesn't tie
Deadpool's
in, dude. As long as it doesn't tie in, then I have to.
Everyone tells me Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and Logan. I haven't seen any of
Logan,
Watch all of
Deadpool, dude, you would love Deadpool 1 and 2. They're fucking
I feel like I'd love Logan
hilarious.
too. But
Logan's a really emotional take.
I heard a funny theory about Deadpool being brought into the Avengers universe, though.
What
I left the fan on in there, so it shouldn't be smelly for you.
Anyway,
but I heard this theory that basically what would be funny is if they brought Deadpool into the Avengers universe, then he would be able to break the fourth wall and talk to the audience. Well, like him, since Avengers are PG-13 movies and Deadpool are R. So he'll cuss, but he'll get bleeped, and throughout the whole movie he'll get gradually more and more pissed off that he keeps getting bleeped.
He's
you
like,
know, like that'd be a funny part of like being a part of that movie. You know,
totally.
I think
I think the thing that the Avengers movies, like, for me, they just gave us one of the best villains of all time.
Ooh, Thanos?
Oh, Thanos is fantastic in my opinion. He's in the top 3.
Of
Of my villains, it's Heath Ledger's Joker is number 1, Darth Vader's number 2, and Thanos is number 3.
All right,
I really can't, like, it's hard for me to say that Joker's better than Thanos. It's just that is one of the best performances I've ever seen in a movie.
The best Marvel villain I would say is probably the General in Hulk.
Okay.
Where he's like, you can't bang my daughter. And then Edward Norton's like, yeah, okay, I'm Edward frickin' Norton. And then he ends up going super green in that pussy. Could you just imagine?
Jesus Christ, Matt.
Okay, but you know how like Hulk can't have his heart rate like past a certain like BPH or what? BPM?
BPM.
Yeah. So what? If he has sex, he's just gonna tear her open because he just goes Hulk all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's more like you're still calm. Like other chemicals in your brain are going off that you're calm though.
It increases your heart rate.
Matt's coming off the deep end with inappropriate topics.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt.
All I'm saying is, you know how Hulk can't go past the certain BPM? Imagine being in pussy in that shit. You tear her up.
Okay.
Imagine how big Hulk's dick is.
Back to your regular scheduled family programming.
That's why you wouldn't. That's why you wouldn't show your grandparents your history.
Dude, it's so weird. It's so weird that he had a
Matt's
relationship with Black Widow.
Matt's the type of dude who clicks on those tune porn ads, you know, like the Family Guy ones, dude.
Hey, dude,
video.
let's get real. Let's get
porn.
real for a second, dude. I had a buddy that came over to my house when I was in 9th grade,
Right.
Okay.
and he looked up cartoon porn at my house.
All
dude.
right.
Oh man.
All right, I would let my buddies chill in my house and be hacky sacking outside, smoke a little ganja with my other buddies.
Nothing wrong with
This
that.
dude JP is in my house looking up cartoon porn.
Oh.
Now, dude, I'm very open about what I do.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? I don't care, dude. But like my sister found it on the computer
I assumed you did it, huh?
and she's like, "Oh, so you look at cartoon porn now?" I was like, "Dude, if I did, I would say that I did, but but I don't." So and like, dude, that was like a little thing that she tried to hold over my head for like the longest time. I was like,
siblings.
"Dude, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, it's
I
not
don't
even
care. Go tell mom. I didn't do it, dude."
Okay, can I ask you guys this? When was how old were you when you were first exposed to pornography?
4th grade. I remember.
9th grade or 9 years old.
4th grade.
9th grade.
Boobies.com.
That's 4th grade. Yeah.
All I did was search
Newgrounds.
I don't even know what you would consider it. 'Cause I mean,
Just like,
I mean,
Like
I guess
the
it would
first
be
time
my-
you ever saw people having sex on camera. I
honestly
8,
can't
dude.
even.
I was
not-
8. I'll never forget this. I had a
in 4th
sleepover
grade.
at this one kid. He lived down the street from me. He was, you know, those people that like, yeah, they've got some issues type people. You know, when you're young.
Yeah.
He was one of those kids.
Okay, I got you.
And yeah, he was like, "You want to see something cool?" And I'm like,
Yes, dude.
"Yeah, I'd love to." And then
what kind of weird shit are you gonna show me?
yeah, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" You know, like,
I remember.
okay.
I remember this one time.
It's like, what are we supposed to do? Or we just observe this? Is this like a sex like game film or something?
No, dude. There was. I
how we
saw
do
a
it?
funny tweet. It was like girls. What did it say? Some girl tweeted saying, "What is it? What is it? Strip clubs are just an excuse for guys to go out and get horny together, but they have to throw girls in the mix and not feel awkward about it." And then like some guy. Like tweeted back and
true.
said like, "Man, why you gotta make it all weird and shit?"
So true.
Shit.
Don't you hate when people hit you with like real literal shit about like
they
just
break down your
things our society is
That's me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trevor. Thanks, Trevor.
You do kind of break down that wall, dude.
I took a quiz on BuzzFeed the other day that was linked through Facebook. It said it'll expose your number one like abrasive flaw, and it said brutal honesty.
Yeah. Well, dude, I took a quiz when I was in like 5th grade. No, I was like 7th grade. It's called career cruising, and it told me that I was going to be a garbage man when I got older, dude.
What did mine tell me? Mine told me I was going to be I can't even remember what mine told me to be, but it was something like stupid.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, I have no
Waste
interest
management,
in doing that.
dude. I was like, look at me now. Career cruising.
Man,
I'm a podcaster. Yeah, I'm a podcaster. And I still pick up trash on my off time.
Yo, I'm saying this.
It's court ordered, but I
That'd be
still do
awful,
it
dude.
willingly.
It'd be so awful, man.
They said I was gonna be a teacher. In a way, I am, but those things are just
Teacher of the mind.
Those things are just designed so people who don't have like dreams or aspirations can like always fall back on something if they ever like get in a bind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I think that's like a sad part of our culture is like
What?
people get to like our age and they're like, well, I got to figure out something, and
Yeah.
then they end
They're
up
just
doing
not
something.
passionate about it.
Like I don't think the human experience should be you working 40 hours a week doing something that you absolutely hate. Like I couldn't imagine doing that. And like, you know what? I might look back on this podcast 10 years from now and be like, man, 20-year-old Tom was so free-spirited.
Yeah.
Like, I hate this box I put myself in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. I think, like, we've gotten to this point. I saw this interesting tweet. It was from Andrew Yang. I should pull it up right now. But basically, it's like we've, here, I'm pulling it up.
What are you going to school for, dude? By the way,
I went for broadcast media arts at Specs Howard.
I think you'll enjoy that. You seem like you really enjoy that.
I do
dude.
like it.
Yeah.
But my
it's
thing
his
is
profession.
Yeah.
Aspiring profession.
Yeah.
I don't know. My thing was I got out and I like looked at like what I'd be doing and the money I'd be making right away. I'm making more money at my current job right now, and I'd rather do like freelancing stuff for a while, kind of get my name out there and like get a good job when I start. You know, maybe take 2-3 years, but here, this
I always felt that I was special, so I also crave attention subconsciously because I didn't get enough.
At least
of
you
it
can
as a
identify
kid.
it.
Well,
I feel like the majority of people do now. I mean, the work lives of parents, the generation
exactly.
before is so
here.
busy.
I can't even imagine the generation coming up next because all of their parents just give them iPads and iPods to shut them up. So can you imagine the
Sickening.
attention they're looking for?
Oh, dude, yeah. But here's the tweet. It said, "We need to stop confusing human value with economic value. We don't exist to serve the market. The market exists to serve us."
Mm-hmm.
But so think about that. Think about how many. Think about. I mean, like my dad, for example. You know, he's retired now, but man, every day he would just hate his job.
Yeah.
And like the mood change, like the day he retired, like it was like a 180.
Really?
He was like happy all the time.
Yeah.
Everything. I think like we've gotten to like I think the 40-hour work week is like it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, do we really need people to be doing that? Like, I mean,
it drains your soul.
It's barbaric, dude. To be completely honest,
like, you know, hippie talk or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, I think people like are confusing themselves with like how much money you make and like your social status and that being with like your quality of life.
Yeah,
like I think there's more to like life than just like how much money you make, what kind of car you drive, how big your house is.
There is.
What you have.
It's the small things.
Yeah.
But when you start zooming out of the small things and you start looking at the bigger picture, it's hard to see that like money doesn't rule the world.
Yeah.
because-
In a way, it does,
sure.
but that's only if you let it rule yourself.
Yeah,
That's
and if you're a
something-
materialistic person, though, I
Yes.
think those people thrive in that kind of environment.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure. In like,
Well, they thrive. They think they thrive, but
But
no one belongs being materialistic. No one belongs living in a huge city like New York. People can get over it and they love that lifestyle, but humans weren't originally designed to be that way.
No,
Yeah,
we're
for
designed.
sure. I mean,
humans are designed to live in plains and to hunt in tribal sets and that's it.
Well, I think to an extent, or a small villages,
just smaller, even just smaller.
Humans are
communities
throw
than
away
what we
stuff
have
you don't
now.
need in the end,
Yeah.
but keep what's important, and
So-
those who know who's your
Bro,
friend.
the thing is about life, right?
Trey Anastasio.
Like straight up, the way I see it is, I feel like the real meaning of life is finding emotional connections and then like preserving them. But with today's modern society, you know how like right after high school, everyone just kind of splits up and goes their separate ways.
You're not spending 8 hours a day anymore.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, exactly. But that
You
didn't-
kind of figure out like who
that-
you really like.
But
though.
that didn't
Yeah.
happen back in the day, though. Like we were talking about the bubble, right? You know, like people you grew up with stay with you until you die, and
Yep.
yeah,
You can pick up and move and start a whole new
yeah.
life.
Like if you want to even go back like 50, 60 years ago, you know, people like, I mean, even longer than that, like 70 probably. Like you graduated and like you kind of stayed within your county, you know, like you knew everybody in your hometown.
Yeah.
And that was your hometown, you know,
Yep.
like you kind of
I feel
dated the same people.
Yeah.
I feel pain in my heart because people drift away from me. And it's not even our fault. It's not my fault. It's not theirs. It's more just like life moves on.
Well, I think you can attest that to the there's more opportunity in the world now. There's more opportunity to live.
There's always the same
different-
opportunity.
No. Because there's more opportunity for you to go different places now. Like,
Bro, think
you know,
about colonizing America. The whole reason why people came over was for opportunity to be able to raise their social status in an area where they probably wouldn't be able to.
Well,
you're right, but
Dude,
I mean,
I think what you're saying, man, is like, there is an ability to leave people behind now, and
Yeah.
I chop that up to social media completely because,
Oh, yeah.
dude, instead of having the ability to have, let's say, 100 really good friends throughout your life,
Yeah.
you have the ability to
Have
10,000 friends, dude,
But
but
they're
they
not
might
your
not be
friend.
close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey, this guy always, likes my shit.
Yeah.
So now I'm dropping you because you don't like my shit.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
going to like that.
Yeah.
So
I think
crazy.
there's a pro and a con to that. Like the con is what you just mentioned, but
Yeah.
the pro is like, there's people from like that I grew up with and stuff who I haven't talked to in 5-6 years or whatever, and I find them on social media, we connect, and then we hang out, and like it's like
Yeah.
the good old days.
Yeah.
It might not be a consistent like, oh, we hang out every day again now.
Yeah.
But it's the keeping in touch and being able to like
That's the positives,
see what
yeah.
people are doing and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Now when you're like only focused on what other people are doing, that's a problem that social media causes too.
I
Yep.
really fucking hate when you see someone you haven't seen in a while and they just act like all like happy, and you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you at Ramshorn and you see someone from high school you haven't seen since high school,
It's an Avondale thing.
and they all just come up to you and they be like, oh my God, how are you doing? Right? And like they just keep talking in a way where you feel like it's disingenuine, and they don't allow like a moment of like natural pause to occur, because then it would be awkward. And I fucking hate that. And it's reasons like that I don't really go out much, because I just don't want to see someone that I know and then have to do that whole
The
song
awkward
and
song and
dance.
dance,
the
yeah,
whole,
yeah.
bullshit conversation.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I hate that shit.
I mean,
So what have you been doing?
yeah, yeah.
What have you been up to? Oh, well, I haven't and then you kind of feel embarrassed about yourself about
Yeah.
certain things. You're like, well,
Is
I don't
my
have
life
much
interesting
to
enough
say.
for you.
In high
You
school,
know?
I
Yeah,
told
yeah.
everyone I'm gonna be rich and eat a dick. Like
Yeah.
I told everyone
Yeah.
that. It's like, I'm gonna be rich, eat a dick. And
Still
if I
believe
see
that, man.
someone, I still
I still
wholeheartedly,
believe that,
yeah,
dude.
I believe that
Hey, man.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
But the problem is when I see someone I know, and then I gotta explain to him that I'm still working the same job I had in high school, right? And that just doesn't look good to me, because now I'm getting red in the face, feeling all awkward and shit. Like,
Yeah.
That's an issue I always had, though, is especially in the past year, I've gotten way better at it. Is
Yeah.
almost every single person on the planet looks at themselves as they're further behind than the people around them.
Yeah.
Where when I started working at where we worked, the meeting house,
yeah,
I started around
Third name.
some of the people, and I thought everybody was ahead of me. They had most of them had their culinary degrees, they're making a lot of money, they have their life together, they're paying bills, they have all this shit together. I've worked there for a year and a half now. A lot of them are financially in a way worse spot than I am. I've actually been very good with my money compared to most
Yeah.
kids that are my
Yeah.
age. I have under $3,000 in debt in my name in my entire
Really?
education. And, I went to school for 4 years, so it's, the older you get, you start to get set into a perspective and understand what your niche is and what you do better than most people. Because if you sit down at this table right now, just from this conversation, I know that the majority of people that we have spent our time with in our life would not sit down and have a conversation that's lasted how fucking long?
2 hours and 15 minutes.
2 hours and 15 minutes having a constant conversation that's engaging, and it's not just bullshitting like, oh, how'd you sleep last night?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you like?
Are you attacking me? I got bad sleep, man.
No, like that's something I got asked a lot at work. Is just like, how was your night?
I know, just little.
How'd you sleep last night? How was your day off? And it's like, my day off was my day off. Nothing happened. That's
I like that people sometimes care enough to ask.
Yeah,
but
I think it's
if
one
you
of those
ask me
things
every
that
day.
it's like a token of courtesy.
Yeah,
almost, it's like I
appreciate you enough to ask you. Yeah,
I find your life slightly interesting enough for me to ask you.
I despise when people come at it though like they're enlightened enough that they're gonna have an intelligent conversation with me, because Trevor, you even remarked on when I was we were at Five Guys Burgers, dude.
Love that place.
And this girl goes, how's your day going? I said, very wonderful. How about your day? And she goes, oh, it's okay. And I wanted to be like, well,
what's wrong?
That's like, no, like she was just like, oh, it's okay. Well, that's not engaging. Was it fantastic? What was great about it? Like,
you ended up saying was, well, what made it?
Yeah, I did say that. And she's like, oh no, it's just good. Yeah. Or like, I don't remember what exactly how it went.
She probably thought you were hitting on her.
Yeah, maybe, but like, I really enjoy having like a conversation and get to know people. I love that, dude. I love that, man.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way, dude.
I just met you 4 hours ago.
Exactly, dude.
I know more about you than I know people that I've known for years.
Bro, right there, bro. Straight up,
for all the viewers who are listening to us.
That's how you know I was meant to be. For everybody who is just listening,
it just felt right, dude. It felt right. But no, dude, that's so dead. That's dead ass serious. I think this group of guys, dude, we're like,
LBJ included. Too bad he's not here. He's in Florida right now.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the LBJ podcast is gonna blow all of your minds.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we should
party on 10.
Thinking about it right now is blowing something.
But
sorry, Mom.
I think to touch on what Trevor was talking about earlier with the like, you feel the pressure of like other people are more ahead of you in life. Yeah. You can spin that and use that in your favor. So that's your motivation to work harder.
That's all about
dude.
That's what I was trying to get. I'm at that stage.
I mean, I was at that stage like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I had I wasn't in college. I worked at a restaurant. I still work at the same restaurant. But, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. Like I saw kids in college and stuff. And like they're
almost
like
your life's plateauing.
Yeah, like now. They're like, oh my god, these people are gonna be so far ahead of me. And then like I had this talk with my dad, and he's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like you are like, you're 19, you're enrolled in school now, and you're gonna go into it where you are able to pay. I mean, it was only a year of tuition. You're able to pay cash for that. You're not gonna have debt.
Yeah.
Do you know all your friends? They're going to be 40 years old before they're out of
trying to fucking pay that
They're
debt.
Still in the hole.
Yeah.
Like you're not, that's like more than likely won't happen to you unless you get a house or you have a kid too early or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like everybody is on their own path for their reason, you know? Nobody's going to be the same. Like you and me, we're not going to have the same life. We already don't. We've had many different experiences and many different opinions on things formed by those experiences. You know, I think each human life is precious, and each human life is on their own way. And
unique.
I think unique, and everybody's trying to figure it out. You know, because like those kids who are in college right now. They're probably just as scared as me. Like, I'm getting this degree. I'm paying $100,000.
Oh, everyone is.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't even know what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess
dude, I had a mental breakdown.
Really?
Last 3 weeks ago.
What did you do? Did you just start like snapping on people?
No. Just in my own head, dude. I was like,
that argument.
I got really down, dude. I got really down on myself. You know what I mean? It was like, it was like I was good, and the only positive thing I had in my mind was this podcast, dude. It was like positive. But then it was like, and then I did self-reflection on myself. I was like, dude, I'm like, I look at everybody else and like they're finishing college, they're getting married. Dude, I haven't been in a serious relationship in my life, dude. Like, you know what I mean? These little things like started stacking up, and I felt like I didn't address enough things in my life.
Yeah.
And came to grips that I'm okay with it being not a cookie cutter life.
Yeah, totally. Dude.
And it just kind of spurred into motion, and I compared myself to people way too much, dude. And that is the number one flaw in any person's psyche, dude.
Honestly,
Exactly.
I guess just to finish that point, tying in with Tom, so I can get this off and I don't forget, was that's a huge part of being okay with yourself and where you're at. Is you have to realize is the pressure that you have put on from other people. Most of the time, people that you work with and that you associate with at school, they're not going to sit there and shit talk themselves. They're only going to say the things that they're doing right and the things that they're planning on doing. And you don't actually see those things going into work.
So true.
Yeah, you don't see it going into work. And then also, going from there, something that I got over with in the past years is me and Barahu, we've both had very similar misfortunes in the way that we've been dealt life.
Yeah.
But I'm actually happy that we have a lot more problems than the average human being, just because if you push through those and you go through life a little bit slower, you're going to have those lessons to teach people on platforms that are like this.
You're like, dude, you're like Superman when you come out of it, dude. Bullets just bing, 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 bing.
Adversity,
fucking deflect off you, dude.
Adversity builds character.
100%.
That's facts.
And I think too, with like comparing yourselves to other people, like I got into a really dark place with it where I had like animosity for people. Like I hated you because you were doing good, you know? And
I still have some of those thoughts sometimes.
I try not to. I've totally worked on that part of my life, you know? I'm not saying I'm 100% there.
Yeah.
But, you know, you kind of like I just felt myself taking a step back and being like, they're on their path. I'm on mine.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, just because we grew up together and we had similar experiences through like the same neighborhood that we grew up in, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be a fork in that road and like I'm going to go this way and
difference
you're gonna
experience,
go that way.
difference of experience,
and difference of like wants.
Yeah.
Certain people want certain things in life, you know. Some people are happy with like, you know, white picket fence, two kids and a dog.
In whatever way they can get that money, too.
You know, I had a buddy, dude, and I think this could compare to you. He's a professional NHL player.
Really?
Jacob Trouba. Yeah.
Okay.
Plays for the Winnipeg Jets.
No shit.
Now, Jacob showed up I went to high school with him, I went to middle school with him, and he shows up at a party that I'm at. And he was like in an Audi R8, right? Really nice car. This is like 2 years after we graduated or something, 3 years maybe. Maybe it was on a 21, something like that.
Okay.
I think it was New Year's. And he pulls up at this party, and he's in the Audi R8, dude. And I just look at it, and I'm like, but dude, I want that. And like, I fucking feel like I deserve that. And like, and I'm like, he gets recognition. Everyone loves him, dude. And like, and I'm thinking to myself, like now, dude. And I thought I reflected on it later. I was like, why am I comparing myself to him? I have a different life. It's not going to work out the same way. And maybe I'm going to find just as much happiness as him or success out of something totally different.
Right.
Might not be money. I might just be successful, like, mentally.
I think it's a beautiful thing in life when you realize that you don't deserve shit.
Yeah.
You have to earn everything.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
He perfected his craft at hockey.
Exactly.
And he earned it, you know?
Exactly. Yep.
But, you know, that's just an example. I think people, once you realize that, like, you were put on this earth and, like, you were just a person, you know? You might have came into some shit, you know, whatever card you were dealt when you were born, but like, it's not because you deserved it. It's because it just happened.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like, you don't deserve shit.
Exactly.
You know? Everybody, you have to, especially in America, you got to earn that shit. You know, now some people, you know, generational wealth, and that's a whole different topic.
But a lot of people fucking are born. Well, not a lot of people, but some people are born into a wealthy family. But there is still people that I know that are born into a wealthy family that don't get anything, dude. Mm-hmm. Like,
That's the way to do it, honestly.
That is the way to do it.
Yeah, you work for everything that you get, dude.
Or
Like,
at least
think about
if
it.
you prove your way through to a certain degree, then you're given a bone. Like
Hey,
if you
man.
graduate college, nail a good job,
Always,
and
yeah.
it turns out you come up short on $40,000 you need on a mortgage for a dream house, and you've never gotten anything from them before, you always fought. Then
Yeah.
sure, throw them a bone. At
Or
that
your car
point.
broke down
Or your car
and
broke
you're
down.
not
And
able
they're
to
like,
afford-
here, new car.
You've
You know
always
what?
been doing the right thing, and you've been pursuing,
Yeah.
only
to-
success.
To say my parents didn't help me with anything would be a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Correct.
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, I would say on almost a lot of people's accords, that's a pretty common thing, especially now.
Yeah.
More than anything,
Yeah.
how much easier it is to help somebody out in different ways, to throw money at different things.
And where we were born too definitely applies into that.
Yeah, especially
Some
being
people
in-
are born without parents, but I mean, I know foster kids that are like just given everything. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's everyone. Their parents do help them. I feel like at least to an extent, unless you have like a fucking shitty parent. But
I guess what we're trying to say is your parents have a lot to do with your psyche.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
your upbringing is like the most foundational part of your life. I mean, it is the foundation.
It teaches you how
There
to
was
interact.
really cool. If there's a radio lab.
Aren't you glad you got water?
Yeah, oh
dude?
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
There's this Radio Lab episode that they were talking about this article, or I guess like a journal book from this old city in, I believe, Sweden, that existed a couple hundred years ago, where for generations and generations and generations, they kept a log of the ancestors and their children. And it turns out kids that went through hardships, like starvation-wise and harsh weather from ages between 8 to 12 around, they developed a better immune system and lived longer and healthier lives in the long run from having that critical hardship in their lives and their body developing.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Where if their kids were eating fat and happy, because there were harvests, so it'd be like one generation would have a really good harvest,
Yeah.
and then the next generation would have a shitty harvest during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'd go back and forth. So the kids that had the good harvest, they're eating fat and happy during that year's period, they would die from other issues at a younger age that were cardiovascular or whatever.
I
they
get what you're
attributed to.
saying.
Yeah.
It's like the children who survive the good harvest. They don't make it past the bad harvest, but the ones who do,
Not even per se the bad harvest, but they don't live.
They
as
don't live
long.
as long. They're
So not because each harvest is every year.
Yeah.
Or
Their
multiple times a
longevity
year
is
for
just
different things.
shorter,
It's just-
yeah.
Their longevity. So instead of 70 years, they died at 55.
Yeah.
Where the kids that just went through the harder parts, which makes so much sense, especially because that's just weeding out bad genes in the pool. And if you don't have to prepare yourself for something that you've never faced before and you're fine with it, then later on in the time your body's going to be more dependent. It's the same thing with if you're abusing a substance. The longer you do it, the more dependent you are on that substance.
That makes
so when
a
you
lot
hop
of
off,
sense.
but it's the vice
Yeah.
versa reaction
Yeah.
where if
Yeah.
you never expose yourself, like people that are in affluent families and do not challenge themselves, then when they go out and manage the companies that they take on, you see them crash and plummet. And it happens all the time with multiple companies.
Lil Wayne said
please
something.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, Lil Wayne said something. It was like, yeah,
Wheezy, but I ain't asthmatic.
codeine and cough syrup.
I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something.
Just
like,
try and paraphrase it, and then I'm gonna say it in a Lil Wayne voice.
All right, it was like.
Put that as a soundbite.
It's like look at the people who are born into money. They don't want that. People who earn the money, they're the happiest. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the people that
Louisiana.
look at the people that eat the money. They starving, man.
See this right here? Ain't no
Holly
drink.
Grove.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Baby.
This is to go on your point. Think of how many success stories you hear of, like, I feel like the most successful people that we all like idolize and stuff like that, they started with, humble beginnings and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you hear about like where there's professional athletes, musicians and stuff like this. They were majority of them were poor,
Yeah.
and because they were,
Yeah.
and they had to fight over those hardships, it taught them, it instilled hard work in them at a young age. And I think when you get people who are affluent, who, at the drop of a hat, they got whatever they wanted, those people in the long run, like, sure, they have the support systems and everything, But in the long run, when that support system either dies or doesn't have the support
They
anymore,
have to ride that wave.
They don't have the mental fortitude to fight for
So
themselves.
to defend in this world.
Yeah.
LeBron's son will never be as good as LeBron because LeBron's son won't be out at night, cold days in Akron, hooping to provide for a single mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Think about Michael Jordan too. Michael Jordan's son never made the NBA.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's the best basketball player. Well,
arguably.
Stuff like that. Same genes.
Yeah, but his dad had a really bad gambling problem. So I mean,
So did Michael. But
absolutely.
different topic
Monkey
for
see,
different
monkey
podcasts.
did.
I'm saying this, so I feel like the reason why Michael was outside in North Carolina shooting all those hoops is because his dad was probably like always just coming home after like a bender of gambling and just being like, we don't have enough money here.
Yeah.
There was this kid, some of my buddies went to school with him. He ended up going and playing college ball, but he was like a huge name in the counties around here for playing football. Mm-hmm. And his dad would come home and he would just make him run and run and run. Like, he still wanted to do it. It wasn't like abuse or anything, but that's what he did. He'd come home and
he wanted to be
have you guys ever watched the Marinovich Project?
Yeah, Pistol Pete?
No. That's Marinovich. Marinovich, he was a quarterback, high school, like, star athlete. Like, his dad, groomed him to be a quarterback. Like, instead of going home and your parents help you with homework, like, he was throwing footballs in the backyard.
Gotcha.
And he, USC was great there. Got to the NFL, turned out to be, like, this huge drug addict and everything.
Oh,
absolutely. Because he, and that's the different styles of parenting. Going back to that, it's like, he forces.
Yeah.
Then the kid's on his own. He has boatload of money.
Yeah.
And it's like
no coping skills.
Well, he never had a life of his own, dude.
Yeah.
He never had a choice.
You should seriously watch it. Everybody listening should watch it. It's a great film,
What's that called?
Marinovich Project.
It's Marinovich. MERNIVCH.
MARINOVICH.
Segwaying.
It used to be on Netflix. Couldn't say if it is still.
Project.
Yeah, I think it's a 30 for 30.
For those of you who don't know the story of Pistol Pete Maravich, let me tell you something. His dad used to go out in the crack of dawn and start playing with a basketball and make Pete watch him, and he would just pretend it was like the funnest thing ever, and he wouldn't let Pete touch it. So when Pete would grow up, he'd be instilled with this thing of like, I gotta play basketball because it's fun.
You know what else is fun? There's
but his dad also like would make Pete get out of the truck, and then his dad would drive behind Pete, and Pete would be dribbling, and he'd do it all the way to school and back. And he'd also do some pretty fucked up shit to him, where he'd be like if he didn't do good in the basketball game for his high school, he'd literally beat his ass. Whatever.
That's what my dad did to me, dude. For soccer, man.
Dude, that's crazy.
I didn't get 2 goals or like a goal a game. Dude, I got my ass kicked, man.
That's what I'm saying. And his dad was the head coach at LSU basketball, and Pistol Pete went to play for LSU and set records for them or whatever.
Set records that still stand, like NCAA records.
Yeah,
wow.
But he ended up dying due to alcoholism because his livers gave out.
Yeah, no, he had alcohol. He was an alcoholic, and then he was actually training for basketball, and then he had heart failure and died.
Wow.
He was like 40.
Yeah, but I'm saying
too much stress, dude.
Before
Weren't
40,
they, wasn't he on Parks and Rec, or like they were referencing him on Parks and
Probably.
Rec?
Probably.
Pistol Pete was on there.
He's a basketball
he was like
the
high school
he
legend
died
back
in, like,
then.
the 70s, 80s.
Yeah,
though.
but
Because they were. I feel like that's a reference. To
Oh no,
him.
for sure.
They're talking about
they were
talking about Larry Bird.
You're
thinking
on
Detlef
there.
Shrimp.
Detlef
You're thinking
Shrimp.
Detlef Shrimp.
Detlef Shrimp is in there too.
Yeah.
He's Pistol Pete's like an iconic type, basketball player that like if you truly like the game, you've heard the name before,
And you've heard his story too.
Yeah. My uncle is actually the one who introduced me to him.
But I think that's so
crazy.
crazy that like there's people out there that have a dream. It's almost
It's
for the
not their
majority
dream.
of the time, it's them pressing the failed dream that they had
on
on
their
kids.
kids, yeah,
and
dude.
I think
And
that's
then
so
those-
weird. The one I feel like as deep as you should go with instilling, sure, you should open your kids to you're not going to go and try and teach and do things with them that you don't know have any idea doing. Like if you don't know how to play soccer, you'll sign them up for a soccer team. You're not going to go and try and teach them how to play soccer yourself. But
I feel like that's why Michael Jackson was able to get away with all the pedophilia.
Michael Jackson, if we want to go on that topic, dude, there are
Why does
so
my topic
many...
have to go to pedophilia? Huh?
No,
It's because of this. It's because of this.
Dude.
Here's how I was relaying my topic into yours. Because
I ain't done.
I would, if you knew Michael Jackson, was diddling kids, would you ever put him in a room with your kid? No.
No, but ever since I was a kid, I've known that. So
but
I
if
don't
you wanted
think
to be
any further ahead.
if you wanted to be a pop star and you never realized it, and now Michael Jackson is asking to spend the night over with your kid, and you're like, oh my gosh, my kid's gonna be a pop star. Like, you would totally jump on it because of like your own personal insecurities. Yeah. And I'm saying this,
I
man.
wouldn't do that if that was my kid.
You don't have those personal insecurities. Like, you're out here making your dreams a reality while other people are watching other people do it, and then they're feeling really shitty about themselves. So then they put their child in a dangerous
that's
situation.
A very fine. You're talking about like 30 kids and Michael Jackson diddling them. I'm trying to talk about the general public here. So I'm going to retract from that a little bit. Go back.
But he did.
Can we stop talking about weird
abortion
sex and abortion?
and shit.
This is what happens when you get Matt Ginther on the podcast. I speak my mind.
That is true.
I love it back though. At the same
it.
time.
Okay, so Trevor, please expand.
All right, let's finish on this thought though. After once we complete this.
So yeah,
saga.
kid like parents pressing on kids and forcing their lost dreams on them. Going from there, I feel like the extent to which you should be teaching a child is simply to the sake of having them find the gratitude in finishing a deed, and that being their reward.
Right.
As in, like, marking things off a list, learning something that day, doing
Was
something.
this me and you that were talking about this the other day?
Yeah. Just having something on a list. Like, we were even saying about how, like, we have the planners are more organized with this. Feels good that we're crossing shit off, getting things done.
Yeah.
But if you instill that in a kid from a very young age, then that's going to be the difference, I feel, that makes the most out of any other lesson that you can teach a kid other than how you teach them to interact with other people.
Right.
Yeah. But you going there and forcing a dream that you want them to be a football player, what if they revolutionized and found the cure to cancer in their lifetime, but you force them, you want them to be a football player or a basketball player, and they die from alcoholism at the age of 40, instead of living till 89 or even 150 because science advanced far enough in the next 20 years. Because of them. Or just while they're studying that shit, new stuff comes out which helps them live longer to work on their theory.
Like the butterfly effect.
Like, think how much further we'd be ahead if Albert Einstein was still alive working on his current theories and being able to relate
or
with
if
scientists
Tesla
would have
been
able to
Tesla.
Yeah, dude.
Or
that guy had it
Thomas
right,
Jefferson.
But we can't but that's lost knowledge, and like that sucks, dude.
Right?
It sucks that we lose this knowledge because of ignorance.
It's almost like when an artist dies, right? And their music or art or whatever is just put on pause. Like, you don't get to see what else, because there's so much art as an artist that you don't even like get to put out because it's all just ideas in your head, right? And when you die, those ideas stop and you can no longer release them to the outside world. So I feel like going back into that, it's almost just like an artist dying is like all these great minds in the world have so much to give, but when they die, we don't get to see the great ideas they had in their head that they didn't tell anyone.
Well, I think
crazy.
that's where podcasts are going to make a change, guys. Because I was talking to Barry about this a couple episodes ago and just saying you know how there's those people that take those photos of themselves every day for 5 years of their life until they get married, and it's like, and it's like, or those kids, those family videos were like the funniest families on the internet or whatever, and they take videos of each other all the time. They're always having fun, shit like that, just whatever. This podcast is the version of leaving our footnote on this world, and it's never going to disappear.
Oh, no.
And also at the same time, it's going to be way better than looking back on a photo. We can go back and see how ignorant we are at the age of 20, 23, and 25.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then coming back and seeing people can go back, and if somehow this pops off and makes it big, somebody else might come back and listen to an episode and then gets an idea from something like that. And it takes a different direction. So instead of having lost ideas and notes that could possibly get destroyed, now we have the internet where there's multiple copies of something. By the time you upload something, like these podcasts archive every month, every single month on the 1st, those podcasts are put on the internet and stored, and they will never go away.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah,
at the same
dude.
time.
Yeah. We can't take back the words that we've spoken,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
Think
can
about
learn.
like all the like, just Twitter in general, and like Reddit and all that stuff. Like, this is the most recorded moment in human history.
yeah.
Like, in terms of like our thoughts and our opinions.
Yeah.
We've never got that before.
Yeah.
When you learned history, like, you probably, like, under an ignorant, like, vision of it, you thought, man, everybody was probably on board with that shit. you know?
Yeah.
But in reality, it wasn't.
You're
Look
just seeing it from
like
from-
if Twitter wasn't a thing and Trump's presidency still happened, right? People would look back on this 50 years and be like, I can't believe people really thought that way when like
Yeah.
the majority of people.
I don't
like,
think Trump's
disagree.
presidency
Yeah.
would have happened if it wasn't
that
for
was
Twitter.
that was just an example.
It's a stunt.
feel
But
that.
All right, so
yeah, I mean, just to kind of wrap up, I think, we're at the golden age of this is podcasting, this is entertainment, but at the same time, it's a way to convey information to you guys and to the listener, and just get news out there, whether it be news about us or news about the world.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a way to put pure information out there, not biased.
straight from your head.
Yeah, exactly. Open forum.
And you can't control me, government.
So I guess we'll close out with the quote from our manly man Tom over here. He'll end up reading that off, and then we'll just shout off the handles and stuff really quick.
Yep.
So this is a quote, kind of off memory, so it might not be exact, but it is from Confucius. Every man has two lives. The second starts when he realizes he has one. So I picked that one kind of because the new year's starting. So, really, if you have a dream or if you have something that you really want to get done, use that quote as some motivation, and let's get some stuff done here in 2020.
Any last words, Matty boy?
Yeah, it's 2020. Y'all gonna look at this podcast and be like, wow, they came a real long way, and we on top now.
Yep.
All right,
I think you guys are very intelligent human beings, dude.
yeah.
Very-
Definitely gonna
very
be back
great
on
people,
soon.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I absolutely have to
I-
be back.
I had a
on.
blast, dude.
I
This
just,
is
I
was
kind of
fun
don't
time.
want to force this, but I want to be like a reoccurring guest.
dude,
Oh, for
100%, dude.
Thank you.
Our firsties, man.
Guys,
Come on. And Matt's gonna be working with
Oh
us.
yeah,
so.
I'm working every Thursday.
I mean, shoot.
yeah, for all of you.
Put me
who
on
didn't
me on
know.
the non-payroll, but I'll be
Hell yeah,
with
bro.
it. I'll be
Hell
with
yeah,
it, dude.
dude. You can be a normal dude if you want.
And,
I appreciate you guys giving me the platform to get some
course,
crazy ideas that I have in my head out. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You
We
guys-
appreciate you coming, dude. That
been-
was a blessing.
TMH.
you know?
All right, so I guess just the quick socials real quick. So for Ginther again, on Instagram, we're doing the at MFG for life.
it's a 4.
Yeah, the
Yep.
4 is the number 4. And then for Tom, on Instagram, the same thing, Tom XDG. Okay. So then from there, we got our Instagram, the Surreal Series. You guys should definitely go and check out our post. It's going to happen within the next, I don't know, a few hours or even going into tomorrow. However, we're going to go about it because we really changed up the room, how it looks in here.
Oh yeah, it looks totally different.
It's starting to look a lot more like home, and we've only gotten started. We're still going to bring so much more shit in here, and eventually, if friends have cool stuff they want to bring in here that looks cool, that we even reference on the podcast, they see something, that'd be cool to just have people help us out and decorate. Eventually, have a lot of fun with it, make it everybody have a little piece in here that's been on. We also started this poster we'll take a picture of where we ended up drawing the logo out on a big poster board like you'd present in middle school, and every single person that's going to come on, not every single time, but every single person that they come on for the first time, they're going to sign that poster board. We're going to have those signatures and fill that out, and eventually probably start printing like a real poster off of them, because that'll be like a really cool thing just to have is for memories.
Yeah.
Once it fills up, dude. Once it fills up, I want to
You gotta start like hanging them off like the rafters, like retired jerseys.
Yeah.
Just like keep having like
And
a-
maybe to our listeners, we can just give them away. Like, not give them away, but like
do a
make a copy.
giveaway.
Make a copy of them
Yeah.
and send it to them, dude.
And on a lighter but somewhat serious note, if you've made it to this point in the podcast, you're the shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you are the
yeah.
shit.
We're 2 hours and 45 minutes in.
if you
Oh,
make
yeah.
it to this point, you're surreal. Welcome to the Surreal Series.
Not only real, but you're
You're
surreal.
surreal. It's
Yeah.
been surreal.
Yeah.
So, can't forget real quick. Twitter handle is series_surreal. I made a subreddit. The Surreal series. Anybody wants to join, anybody can post just to do weird links in there. I have a few rules I've started to update, put flares in there, so the subjects of your post and shit, I've started to take time, fine-tune it so it can actually... And I have a lot of stuff in there already. Check it out if you use Reddit regularly.
I'm definitely going to check that out.
Main emphasis, please subscribe to the motherfucking YouTube.
Yeah, we're
That's
building
honestly
here.
that once we get 100 subscribers, that's when we're really going to start pushing and trying to get social media. We feel those 3 digits is really going to help us out and just
if you
getting
guys
even
could,
more
I mean,
numbers.
take an extra step and like and subscribe, and then maybe even share it to people that you love. People that you like. You might think that they might like it. It could be a great topic of conversation. Hey,
Just
go
help
listen to
us
this.
grow.
Go listen to this
Yep.
podcast.
And if you ever have a long car ride in front of your house, always think this is going to be surreal.
yeah, exactly,
Hell yeah.
exactly. All right, guys.
All
We're
right.
signing out.
Till
Thank
next
you.
time.
You have a good one. Episode 11. Why are you saying that?
This is a real serious, baby.